The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Davante Adams is officially gone. Allen Lazard will be next. We'll talk about where the Jets go from here and more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Second show on the day. Click the thumbs up button and help the channel grow. And, of course, make sure that you are subscribed to the Jake Asman YouTube channel. The Jets have released Davante Adams. Allen Lazard was given permission to seek a trade. When they can't find a trade partner, he likely gets cut. And the Jet offseason ahead of free agency is starting to really get underway with more cap space. We'll see what Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn decide to do. For more on Davante and the state of the Jets, we say hello to a first-time guest, but he is an ASMANIAC. He's been watching the show for a while. You check him out every Monday night on the Buffalo Jet Fan YouTube channel. Him and Glenn Naughton have a great show together that you can find on YouTube and all across social media. That is on Thursday night. The host of Jet Nation Live, Dylan Tereman, joins the show. What's up, Dylan?
Not much, Jake. I really appreciate you having me on. I mean, it took, 2 weeks from Jeremy dropping my name on your show. Shout out to Jeremy for that. And now we're here talking. And for the ASMANIACs, yes, I am probably part one of you, even though I've never called in. But I formally need to say this. My name is Dylan. I'm 30 years old. I was pro Aaron Rodgers coming back in 2025.
My kind of guy right there. By the way, when I say Dylan's an ASMANIAC, I mean, I didn't even know this. He filled out an ASMANIAC Madness bracket. So I definitely want to get your thoughts on the bracket. And I will say this as well. For those of you tuning in to vote in today's matchup in the afternoon show, that features King Loski and Jennergy. The polls will open in a few short minutes. So be on the lookout for that in the 3 versus 14. And congrats again to Aurora, who defeated the 11 seed, Tim from Fishland, during the morning show earlier today. All right, Dylan. So the news, we know it by now. Davante's gone. People were like, are you going to do an emergency show? No, because we've known this was coming for a while. No one's surprised. If anything, this image now is a cursed image in Jets history. But you look at where the Jets are in their, retool, however you want to describe it. I mean, the reality is Davante Adams making the money he was making was never going to be on the Jets at that current deal. They were either going to redo his contract or he was going to be released. No one was taking on, the $35 million that he was owed for this upcoming year. So the Jets release him. And if you look at what it means from a cap standpoint, with that one move, the New York Jets just freed up $29.9 million in cap space. We knew this was coming, and now it's official.
Yeah, I think the number hovers around 52 once the post-June 1 Aaron Rodgers number comes in. It could even be a little bit higher in the 60s. You can play around on over the cap and make some more cuts and get upwards of 70 to 80 million in cap space. But yeah, this always seemed like a formality once they decided Rodgers was no longer going to be the quarterback of the team in 2025. I know people kind of clung to Derek Carr could get cut and come here and maybe Davante would want to stick around. I felt like it was very soured. With Rodgers and Woody, Davante and Woody, the things that those two players specifically were saying as the season was winding down, just felt like they knew they were on their way out. Like I said, it would have been nice to have him back for 2025 because of all the things that come with it. But this is the retool that Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji want. And although we like to use the word retool and not rebuild, we're closer to the latter than we are the former, unfortunately. So I'm kind of still in wait and see mode as far as all these things, but this was a formality, and the Allen Lazard thing should be as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the story from Schefter today just screams Jets trying to create some sort of market that doesn't exist. I mean, Jets have given permission to Lazard to seek a trade, but we're open to bringing him back. No, they're not. Unless Alan Lazard's playing for free, they're not going to bring Alan Lazard back. There's a clear effort to move on from anyone associated with Aaron Rodgers and this whole era of Jets football. So Lazard's going to be gone too. They'll save money. And for those saying, well, why not keep him? They don't have anyone else. Because Lazard's no good without Aaron Rodgers. We saw what that looked like 2 seasons ago. He at least was somewhat playable for stretches of this past season, but let's call it for what it is. Lazard's going to be gone as well, and the Jets will have even more cap space going into legal tampering, which is 6 days from right now, Dylan.
Yeah, we will always have the Hail Mary to Alan Lazard, which
right.
wasn't even like a full catch. Like it came out at the end of the play and gave everybody like that yes, no moment. I remember the Spanish broadcast being posted by the Jets, and even that guy was like, see, no, see, like he didn't know if he caught it. So we had those high moments with Lazard only with Rodgers. And I know the Chiefs game with Zach Wilson in 2023 was a better game for Alan Lazard, but the amount of production you're getting and the amount of pay that we had to dole out for him, Saul was right. We only had about 1.5 years left of Alan Lazard, and that's what we got.
I mean, you look at the wide receiver room right now. You have Garrett Wilson and a bunch of guys who either stink or flat out can't get on the field. So you look at what the Jets have to do this offseason. Wide receiver is a major, major need. It should be addressed in both free agency and the draft. Your thoughts on some potential options now for the Jets in that wide receiver room?
Yeah, I think free agency, you have to lean towards former regimes. And Tim Patrick was the one that was mentioned by a lot of beat writers. I think Connor Hughes specifically mentioned him. And then he mentioned Josh Palmer. So it's kind of telling on what they view. Maybe a taller, vertical stretching receiver who has a little bit more top end speed, more so than route running prowess to kind of complement what they already have in Garrett Wilson, who you have to assume is going to be in their plans for the next 3, 4, 5+ seasons. So I think we're going to start looking at more of like the 6'1" and above type wide receivers, more so than the 5'11" and below type wide receivers, because you can't round out your roster or at the position rather with guys that are so small like Malachi Corley, Xavier Gibson. These are all sub 5'11" type wide receivers. You can't have a small room, so they're going to have to balance it out. And as far as the draft is concerned, I know everybody loves Tet. I'm getting into his film, but I'm not loving it entirely for 7. I would prefer them. Obviously, everybody wants them to trade down and acquire picks and still get the position, which would be like an Igbuka. But I'm saying go target it in day 3. Reverse the curse of the 2nd round wide receiver if you need to. The 3rd round wide receiver, I know Malachi Corley was, and we still need. The book isn't written on him, but I definitely think you got to double dip at this position. And although it doesn't seem great in free agency, you can find that C, maybe B tier player in both categories to help round out your room.
Well, the question with Tet is he obviously plays faster than he's going to run, which is why he didn't run at the combine. To me, he's like the perfect complement for Garrett Wilson. Now, if you tell me he's Drake London, I think that's worth the 7th pick in the draft because Drake London's turned out to be a really good player for Atlanta. But that's the question. Is he Drake London or is he someone that's going to slide because he's not as fast as some of the other guys in this class?
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing with me is as I'm getting into the wide receiver film more and more, Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State is creeping up to become wide receiver 1 on my board quicker than anything. And I know everybody's so fast to say Tet at 7 is a run the card up pick, but I almost lean Tyler Warren at 7 with Tet. If those are your 2 options specifically, I would be a fan of finding the day 2, day 3 wide receiver instead of swinging for the fences, because I just don't think this draft class is set up where offensive playmaker is the pick at 7. I think it's probably going to be more of a defensive or trench player, maybe a right tackle.
I am starting to warm up to the idea, depending on how the board breaks, of the Jets just saying, you know what, screw it. Let's just take a safe offensive lineman. I don't love using a 7th overall pick on a right tackle, but I rather just make sure you get that pick right. Like the Jets, they passed on Tristan Wirfs years ago because, he's more of a right tackle, not a left tackle. I mean, you know what? If a guy's a good football player and you want to build up your trenches, like if you told me the Jets went out there and they took Campbell or, they took Armin Mabuo, who I know your guy, Buffalo Jet fan, likes, the kid from Missouri who had a great combine. I'm more open to it than I was originally because they got to get this pick right. Like if you're gonna try and sell this fan base on wanting to believe in this new regime, you really got to hit on that first round pick.
Yeah, if you don't view anybody as a blue chip talent at number 7, and there's a potential for there to be blue chip talents that fall to you, I'm starting to think that there aren't even 7 blue chip players worth, in this draft class as a whole. So you would look at that next tier down. Maybe that's what you would consider a red chip player. And that's as close as you can get to a blue chipper at 7 if you stick and pick. And I would lean, yes, that all of those guys that you mentioned and even more are probably considered red chip players over a Tet McMillan at 7. So I just see the strength of the class being completely different than let's go wide receiver at 7. And although there aren't those polarizing names outside of maybe McMillan and Luther Burden had some buzz, it's like you can find your C tier guy and actually make it work. Like the Tim Patricks, transition that to the draft. And if you got the Tim Patrick of the draft and he was a successful rookie, I think that's just as good as using a top asset at like 7. 7 to me is just so rich for this class. And you see other wide receivers who have taken in that 7 range, like the Jamar Chases of the world. Tet's not Jamar, so he might be the best wide receiver of this class, but there's other positions to me that speak better to the allocation of the 7th pick.
Yeah, this is not last year's receiver class. We had 3 guys in the top 10, and then Brian Thomas Jr. might end up being like the second best receiver in that class when it's all.
And that's
said
not
and
fair
done.
that's not fair to do to this class entirely, because almost every position is like, wow, if you looked at the 2024 class, where would this guy stack up? It's obviously going to push a lot of these guys down the board. You have to play each class as it is, but I think there's a lot more blue and what I consider red chip talented players on the defensive side of the ball, where if they stick and pick, I would prefer that.
I want to hear about your chip system here. So blue chip is obvious, blue chip prospect. You have a red chip. Is that like slightly under the blue chip? And then what's the tier? What's the level of chip below the red chip?
There's probably just like first round talent underneath red chip. Like red chip would be like your top 15 guy, and blue chip would probably be your top like 5 to 8 guy in the class. And that's going to vary each year. There's 32 picks in the first round. Obviously, there's going to be maybe 14 to 15 first round grades on these players. So then the talent pool is like, okay, now you have maybe 6 of those are considered red chip players out of the 15. And then another 5 are considered blue chip players. So now you have 11 of your top 15 are blue or red chip players. And that doesn't mean that they're not worthy of the first round if they're not that. It's just there's not 32 first round grades. So you have to develop a system of tier breaking and saying, okay, Abdul Carter, Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are blue chippers to me. A red chipper to me would be like Will Campbell or Shamar Stewart, one of those type of guys. And then the first round guys, which would be like the Mike Greens of the world, that I can still see being a pick in the teens, but I don't think it's all the way worth coming up or, staying at 7 and taking one of those guys.
I'll say this. I'm a big fan of potato chips myself. So I don't know if you have a scaling system for that. Where does like a blue Dorito fall in line in the chip system?
That would probably power rank right between blue and red chip. Poker chip is the elite chip. If you have those, you're probably sitting nice in the world if you have poker chips. So I like those. Those would probably be my elite chip. But yeah, you can't go wrong with a potato chip, a Dorito chip. Yeah, those are right between a blue and a red.
Fantastic. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Connor Long spending some allowance money here. Says DT and JA does not get much better than this. Connor, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. I also wanted to share some exciting news with the people. So we're doing another ASMANIAC raffle, as we've been doing since the first week of December. This will be our 17th ASMANIAC raffle coming up later on this week. Giving away a signed Curtis Martin helmet, a signed Darrell Revis helmet, a signed Don Maynard helmet, added yesterday a signed Joe Namath helmet, and as promised, because we've had so many memberships that have been donated to the channel, we're staying with the Hall of Fame theme. How about a signed Kevin Mawai helmet? First time we've done a Kevin Mawai item on the channel. People forget the Jets, for all their issues, they have quite the lineage. At the center spot, Kevin Mawai, Pro Football Hall of Famer, class of 2019, a signed helmet by Mawai has been added to the ASMANIAC raffle. So we're up to 5 prizes and counting for this raffle. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel, like David Atkins, who before the show even started, gifted a channel membership, and that one went to, I don't even have it, to be honest. It disappeared off my screen. But David, thank you. I'll get you in the raffle for one. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line The poll is about to open. Dylan, I know you regularly watch the show. You filled out a bracket. Make your pick now before polling starts. You going King Loski or Jennergy in the 3-14 matchup in the chicken soup region here?
I was actually completely wrong. I came on here expecting to have to say, I voted for King Loski in my bracket, but I think, that's just due to less exposure to Jennergy. And I know they called and talked yesterday. It was very cordial. They were both good sports about it. And maybe I'm just not familiar with Jennergy's game. So I genuinely thought I put Loski in my bracket. As I look right now, I have a doubleheader sweep of the 5%ers today. Aurora earlier this morning and Jennergy this afternoon. So it's nothing against either. I think Loski predates me with a lot of my viewing. I'm kind of more new, like a Rogers era watcher. But I don't know, the Gorman thing where he's yelling at him about the chicken soup, that kind of gave him some points for me. But I did go Jennergy in my bracket. So I'm pulling for both. Let's get another one that comes down to one vote. And I'm not voting because I'm on the show today. That's a little biased. So
I'll tell you what, Dylan, you truly do watch the show because you saying 5%ers. Well done, sir. That's right. As of the last 90 days, the female demos at the 4.5%. Rounding up, we got a 5% female audience. All right, on that note, we're going to talk about the quarterback situation for the Jets. I want Dylan's thoughts on some of the college guys and obviously free agency next week. But you heard Dylan make his pick. Now it's time to make yours. The poll is open.
It's time for ASMANIAC Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top ASMANIAC for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
Vote, vote, vote. Poll is live in the chat if you're tuned in to the show live right now. All right, Dylan, let me ask you about free agency next week at the quarterback spot. Gun to your head. The New York Jets sign which veteran quarterback next week?
Just let it be Justin Fields, man. Like, I don't know. Like, there's such I default to no on Buffalo's pod every time he talks about a quarterback. And it's just go with the guy with upside, Justin Fields. That's my pick.
I hope it's Justin Fields. Not that I think he's great. I just think at least we could have the hope of him doing what Sam did or doing what Baker Mayfield did. There's at least talent there. And, maybe he could be coached up and continue to get better. He's young enough where maybe he can be someone that could, I don't know, inspire some hope to a fan base that's desperately looking for something.
Yeah, I was a Fields guy in the 2021 draft. That's one of me and Glenn, my co-host on Jet Nation, one of our epic debate topics from that year was that he was Zach Wilson, I was Justin Fields. So I liked him in the process, but I've kind of, lessened my love for him, obviously. I mean, he just hasn't had the best career. But you just got to give me somebody who has the upside. Like I said, the age is a plus for him. Somebody who can compete with Tyrod, or on the surface, most people in the organization think he's a better answer than Tyrod Taylor. Not to say Tyrod isn't a good player, but if you go out into free agency and you draft or sign somebody and our immediate thought is, it's not better than Tyrod Taylor, that is not inspiring. And I know you smell the 4-win season. I'm trying to stay hopeful to, at least give us the upside of 6 to 8 if all things go right. But anybody that's less than Tyrod Taylor in free agency, like the Jared Stidhams or the Easton Sticks that Buffalo loves to shout out, please don't give me that, because I will be pounding the table to trade every first-round pick in the near future for Cam Ward.
Easton Stick, just shoot me in the head if that's the move. God.
Yeah.
Darth Crypto with a super chat, and ASMANIAC super chat. 16 months he's been a member. Vote for our king. Ladies and gentlemen, King Loski getting a ton of support early on in voting. 75% of the vote has gone to Loski so far. Another blowout on our hands after the first show today. We had a big blowout with Aurora. Honestly, if this holds, the last 3 matchups after the first couple of days where some of these came down to a few votes are trending towards being a blowout. Congrats to everyone who made the tournament, though, because it's not easy. Over 100 callers were eligible, and we had to somehow get it down to just 64. So if you made the tournament, that's a huge accomplishment. Don't forget that throughout this process. The other names the Jets have been connected to besides Fields, reportedly Carson Wentz and Marcus Mariota. Do either of those names inspire you there, Dylan?
No, absolutely not. Carson Wentz is not the resurgence project that I think the Jets need right now. although you can draw parallels to Jared Goff and exactly what happened to him. LA offloads him for some picks in Stafford. He goes to Detroit. He has a revitalization of his career. They came out of the same draft class. So I don't know, man. Carson Wentz is like the least inspiring. I heard he wasn't the best locker room person in Philadelphia. He has some views that not necessarily he pushed on his players, but it seemed like players weren't necessarily in love with his views on certain things. And that's okay. I mean, people have their opinions on things, whether it's religious, political, whatever. So I don't know. I felt like the vibe in Philly for Carson Wentz wasn't good. And what they were able to do after Carson Wentz left just kind of proves the point that he was never going to be the guy for them. And Mariota, no, please no, Mariota. Come on.
Yeah, just shoot me once again in the head. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. If you tuned in a little late, you heard me just say it. But for those of you who just got in moments ago, Kevin Mawai signed helmet added to the next ASMANIAC raffle with the Namath helmet, Maynard helmet, Revis helmet, and C-Mart, Curtis Martin signed helmet. So we'll take your memberships for that or a $20 super chat. A reminder to everyone that gets you 5 raffle entries. Plus, you join the Patreon for the year. You get 10 raffle entries, and you upgrade your membership from monthly to the year. You also get 10 entries. Armani AD, I see you. He updated his membership to the year earlier. So, Armani, appreciate your support. I got you down on the raffle for 10. What do you make of the Jets reportedly contacting the Titans for the number 1 pick? Do you actually put some stock into the New York Jets, trading a boatload of assets to move all the way up from 7 to 1, Dylan?
From the Jets perspective, I would love to put stock into it. I think it makes sense if you have conviction in your guy and you want to kickstart, turn over that hourglass of sand on your time as a head coach of the New York Jets and reset the quarterback timer, so to speak. But then you add in the other factors because everybody loves to say, let's just go trade up or let's just go trade down willy-nilly. And all of a sudden you have 15 extra picks in this draft and you're picking at 24. The same goes inverse. You have to have somebody who's willing to come down. Now, obviously, the Giants are also in the market to move up to number 1. And an article was put out kind of previewing what those packages would look like. I didn't read it. I would assume that the Titans would be much more inclined to go with the Giants packages of picks and say, hey, this is what we are going to give you to move from 3 to 1 as opposed to 7 to 1. Because like we talked about with the blue chips and the red chip players, you're now really risking the percent chance of a blue chip player being there at 7 for the Titans, very slim. Whereas you can trade down from 1 to 3 and still go get Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. So they're going to play the game in their best interest while every other team is also trying to do what's in their best interest. For our perspective as a Jets fan, we kind of get the green blinders and we think, okay, well, let's trade down to 15. That's easy. No, somebody has to come up. So Titans have to move down in like 7 people enough to do the trade. And I just don't think that they like that. They said they're not going to pass on a generational talent. So even if you consider the 2 quarterbacks generational, which they're not, then you have Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, and the 2 quarterbacks. How are you going to get either of them at 7? It's just the game gets harder. So no, I would love it if they did. I don't think it's going to happen, but Cam Ward's been our guy, Jet Nation's QB1. Probably since before he transferred to Miami, coming out of his first season at Washington State, right after he transferred out of Incarnate Ward. I mean, Glenn and I were so deep in the weeds with Cam Ward that like right after COVID, when they were having those like everyday college football, there was a matchup on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Incarnate Ward was some of those matchups. And that's when you saw Jackson State with Shadur Sanders as well. So we were really in the weeds with Cam Ward since Incarnate Ward. And he was our quarterback 1 for at least 18, maybe even 20 months now on our show. So we've loved Cam Ward. I don't know if he's willing to trade up for him still, but 100% I am.
Dylan puts in that work, baby. He's evaluating these prospects for a long, long time, not just in the last few weeks like most of us this time of year. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Dylan Tereman. He's a longtime listener of this show, first-time guest on the show. You can check him out with Buffalo Jet Fan on Mondays and with Glenn Naughton on Thursdays. So definitely tune into that. Shout out to Craig down under. Craig in Australia gifting 5 ASMANIAC memberships, baby. Hit it.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
These are from Craig, CLS Smooth, Bill Clinton, sup, Mr. President, Jack Mills, D-Rob, T. Dot, all receiving a membership there from Craig. That's 5 raffle entries for Craig. I shipped something to Austria yesterday. If Craig wins a raffle prize, I definitely will find a way to ship it all the way to Australia. AD Pugnant with 5 memberships gifted as well. That means 5 entries for AD. And since, look, King Loski's competing right now, this is for you, AD. Here we go. These are from AD. Dick Chimney's Burner, Michael Danapolis, Primal Gentleman, Luis Antinosi, Ranger Fan 11, all receiving channel memberships there from AD, who continues to support the channel. Thank you very much. Dan the Jet Fan writes in, at least I still have my signed Davante jersey. What's sad is 10 years from now, no one's even going to remember that Davante Adams was a Jet. Like 8 years from now, people will probably forget. Like it's going to just be an afterthought. He played 11 games, but he was a really good player for them. Like I have no issue with Davante. I wish him well. He still could play in this league. Is he what he once was? Probably not, but he's still one of the top 15 to 20 receivers in football.
Yeah, barring him or Rodgers going to an AFC East team or an AFC team that I just frankly don't like, I'm going to root for these guys. Like, there's no reason not to. I mean, he came in, he did everything he could. We'll always have the famous speech after the Steelers game. That was supposedly, worthy of going in museums and being talked about around the world. So I'm cool with it. I have no ill will towards these guys. I want to see them succeed, but I would also be happy if they retired, so we don't have to see them succeed while the Jets may struggle to succeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Dylan Tereman. If you have a question about the draft, Dylan's your guy. People ask me about these random prospects, and I go, I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I bring people on like Dylan and Dom C and all the other experts who break it down year-round. So ask your random prospect questions to Dylan. I do have one for you, though, talking about prospects. Have you done any homework yet into some of the like day 2, day 3 quarterbacks that maybe could move up draft boards here? We got a new one on this show we've been exploring. His name is Dixon Hull. Are you familiar with his work?
Not familiar, no. I have heard the name. Not familiar with his work, though, by any means.
Hello, Jake.
Hey, Lane. How are you?
Great. Do you see the Jets possibly drafting, was it Dixon?
Dixon?
Yeah.
Who's Dixon?
He's out of college. Dixon Hall.
I'm actually not familiar with Dixon Hall. What position does he play?
QB.
So Dixon Hall, quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you think that Dixon Hall would be a good pick by the Jets?
Yeah.
I'm going to look into Dixon Hall, but your scouting acumen speaks for itself. All right, Dixon Hall to the Jets. Let's start the campaign, people.
Dixon Hall. It's almost like Knoble.
Yeah, but Knoble ended up being a great find by you. You were ahead of the curve.
Well, I did find that he got into an accident with his estranged girlfriend.
That's right.
I'm going into a house. He's alive. The 27 pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hall out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader? Like, I know every player. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
To the late trade.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as a prospect, I think his mechanics are a little stiff. Projecting him as more of a stopgap player, if you want to take a dart throw on him. Not much else. He was a Sun Devil, so forks up, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, no, good prospect. I wouldn't consider him a blue or red shipper. Maybe fourth round. I have a list of Parcells quarterbacks, and I don't think he fit the criteria.
Interesting.
I shared it backstage if you want to share it with the viewers.
Tush push specialist, according to M. Morris.
Hey, I have a guy who's fit for that role already, but I mean, that could be where he fills the gap. Exactly. That could be his calling into the NFL.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Dylan's quarterback rankings. Go ahead, Dylan. Break it down for us.
This isn't rankings. This is using the Bill Parcells criteria of drafting
even better.
quarterbacks. So Parcells likes seniors who have graduated, 30-plus collegiate starts, 23-plus collegiate wins, a TD interception ratio of 2-1, and a 60% or better completion percentage. So as you see across the board, I highlighted in green the ones that meet the threshold. The ones that don't meet the threshold, I mean, Brosmer, only 1 year of college starts. You're never going to eclipse those thresholds. Kyle McCord, he was just short in both categories, but you lead the league or the nation in passing, and I think people can overlook that. Plus a 3-to-1 pass a touchdown to interception ratio, and a 67% completion percentage almost. So fits the mold fine. Jalen Milroe, this one's interesting. He doesn't meet the criteria of starts and wins, but he graduated college in 3 years. So if you're talking about somebody with intelligence, it might not necessarily be football intelligence. The kid is smart as hell. So that's not why he didn't meet the thresholds. It's because he graduated and said to hell with school. And then Tyler Shuck, who's been gaining a lot of buzz. As you can see in that one column that says age, he was born in 1999, man. Like, he's closer to my age than he is the other prospects in his class's age, it seems. And 32 collegiate starts. Dude, he played 3 games in 2018, and you only got 32 collegiate starts since then. So it's very tough for me to get on board with Shuck, even though I thought he has had the best draft process. If I'm being nitpicking with Parcells, 20 years ago, his criteria might have worked, but this TD interception ratio needs to be closer to 2.5 to 1, and the completion percentage needs to probably be closer to 63, 64%, just because it's so much easier to pass in today's league, and everybody meets the touchdowns and the completion percentage at this point.
Someone should ask Parcells what the modern byline
iteration of it is. Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
Good list though. Cam Ward, I noticed, checked off, and I think like many, Cam Ward's the best quarterback in the class.
Yeah, I definitely think he's my QB1.
Fedora's on there too, for what it's worth. He does fit the Parcells criteria.
Yeah, I was worried that Shedeur didn't graduate. I had to do a little bit of digging to find out if he actually did or not. But the touchdown to interception ratio on those two guys specifically, Shedeur is 134 to 27. That's like a 8-to-1 or 7-to-1 ratio. Like that's stupid numbers. He had 70 touchdowns and like 10 interceptions in his 2 seasons at Jackson State. And then Cam Ward, I mean, he found success at 3 different levels technically: Incarnate Ward, Washington State, and then 1 season at Miami. I do like that Ward has more starts, almost half a season's more starts, but they have roughly the same amount of wins. So obviously I think the competition that Jackson State was playing and Incarnate Ward were playing were fairly similar. But then once Ward moved on to Washington State, the competition got a little bit harder, but his play also got better. His big time throw percentage went up. His turnover worthy plays went down. So those are all things that you would think would get worse going to a better program. But Cam Ward, to me, I mean, he can make all the throws. Even on a bad platform, he can make the throws. He's very mobile, like more than mobile enough, in my opinion. He's a good leader. Stuff with Sanders, I can't say. I don't know if he's a great leader. Team players seem to rally around him, but you had the quote about the RB transferring out of Buffalo, and he's like, oh, that guy was probably mid. And then you have a throwing session with him and Cam Ward, and Cam Ward jokes and says that Sanders got a participation trophy or a completion percentage trophy, and all he throws is screens and checkdowns. And Shedeur got very mad. I don't know if you've seen the clip that was aggregated, but Shedeur got mad, and he was like, I had no run game. Well, buddy, you told your running back he was mid. Of course he's going to leave, and you might not have a run game. Their offensive line is poor. I will admit it, and don't ever watch 31, their tight end. He is probably the worst college football player I've ever watched on. I could put my hand on a defender the same way he does and have the same effect. So it's a tough look, and obviously a supporting cast isn't Miami, but I do think those are the top names, but the gap is getting a lot wider as the weeks grow.
Let me ask you this, Dylan. If Shedeur's there at 7, would you take him?
Yeah, I think you have to. You have to be smart and take the quarterback if he falls to you, because then you can justify it more if it doesn't work. If you trade up for a guy and it doesn't work, you're immediately on the chopping block. Nobody's going to trust your decision-making process. If you said, hey, we didn't expect this guy to be here. We were looking at Shamar Stewart at pick 7, but the fact that the Raiders signed Sam Darnold and didn't draft a quarterback helped Shedeur get to us at 7. So, yeah, I think you have to take the chance. But you don't do it if they don't have conviction. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is if they don't have conviction, you don't do it. But I would assume if they did, that they had the conviction. So, yeah, I'm for taking the quarterback if he falls.
Charles Gorman did not like Lane Train's prospect, Dixon Hole. He wrote, "Shake my effing head. Can Lane stop making up crap?" First off, Charles, how dare you? All right. Last year, Knoble was a thing. We had people that had signs at the draft for Knoble. He electrified the city of Detroit where the draft was. So stop. And two, man, Charles is feisty because Mike D's Nuts responded and wrote that Charles is overrated. And Gorman responded to D's Nuts and wrote, "Go piss off a-hole." Wow. I mean, let's focus on super serious stuff, Charles, like where the meatloaf is.
My mother wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm on StreamYard, Mom. I'm on YouTube.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Charles, you're the best, dude. I can't. Mom, the meatloaf.
The meatloaf!
Mom, meatloaf.
I'm listening to it in my headphones at work earlier in the show, and I hear "Ma, the meatloaf," and I had to stop what I was doing to see what the hell you were talking about. But if we're being fair, Gorman getting mad at somebody for gassing up a prospect, I don't know if we can push those boundaries here. So I'm cool with Lane doing it.
It's a fair point. When it comes to gassing up life, we know who to call.
Oh, my bad, everybody.
Unreal. Dylan, great reference there. All right, let's get to some calls with Dylan here before we say goodbye. Real quick, 2 super chats to hit on. Hennessy says 2 words, Jackson Dart. I'll ask you about Dart coming up here. David Atkins with a super chat. Dixon Hole, what? I don't even know how to pronounce the name of this. Saskatchewan Junior College hits the hole. Great RPO reads. Dylan, great insight. Please dig more. We need film breakdown. Dylan, a huge hit with the chat so far. Love that. All right, we're going to get to your calls coming up. Quickly, though, we're going to take a break. So if you've been following the show, Johnny Boy paid for advertising on the show. He was full on campaigning like a politician for his matchup against Jason in Jerusalem. Well, the team behind Beast Breaker 666 also took out an ad on the show ahead of Beast matchup later this week against Dave Briga. So we pause for a quick commercial break brought to you by Beast Breaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote for the Beast. You know why? Because I'm a man's man. I'm a man's man, and let me just say this. 5 times I went back-to-back 5 different times. I've singled 4 titles in my illustrious career. 3 Triple Crowns, 2 Grand Slams, a Hall of Famer. I fit in like the likes of Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Ric Flair, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Gene Kaniski, and many of the other greats. And don't let my hair fool you. I'm bigger, I'm badder, I'm smarter. I'm not fat, but I'm a man's man, and I'm going to tell it like it is. Vote for the Beast, and you'll see the difference between facts.
Tomorrow afternoon, Beast Breaker versus Briga, the final matchup of the Chicken Soup Region round of 64. We would have completed the full region. Just to give everyone an idea, the matchups tomorrow, Mike D's Nuts and Barbarossa in the morning, Beast Breaker and Dave in the afternoon. Your thoughts on Beast, Dylan, because there's a large contingent that doesn't like him. I also think there could be that silent majority out there that doesn't want to admit they love him and will be casting their vote for him tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily love or hate Beast. I'll probably say I'm in the middle. I did vote for him, I think, against Dave. It's a 2 versus 15. I mean, you gotta take more 2s than you do 15s in those brackets. But I have Mike D's Nuts moving on against Barbarossa. So I mean, that's gonna be a tough one for Beast Breaker. My pick can be spoiled. I know it's public, but June the GM was my pick to make it out of the Chicken Soup region. So that got busted yesterday. And that's more of just a personal bias towards June because he was really nice to me on Boy Green's show, but I thought he had the legs to really get out there. I thought he voices his opinion well, he speaks well, and he knows about the Jets, which isn't necessarily criteria for the show, but I thought he does a good job. But Beast Breaker, yeah, I mean, I'm sure maybe we'll get to his call later, but yeah, I mean, I got no ill will towards Beast. I think he's a good character for the show. He's definitely an alluring person. I mean, like you said, people tune in whether they want to or not. I hear the Beast Breaker theme song, and you know, I got to see if he's yelling at somebody. Or sometimes the quality of the internet hurts my ears when I'm listening in my AirPods. But other than that, I got no knocks on him.
Great breakdown. Very good assessment there, ladies and gentlemen. Quick scoreboard update before we get to more calls. A blowout is happening before our eyes. 75-25. King Loski up on Jennergy. There's still time to get your vote to matter. Every vote matters on this show. Over 320 votes have been cast. Loski in total control right now on the show. All right, let's get to some of your calls. Let's say hello first up today to our dear friend Neil in Garden City. Hello, Neil.
Jake, how you doing? Dylan, how are you?
I'm doing well, Neil. Nice to meet you.
Listen, I'm a big fan of yours. You know, aside from Jake's show, there's really only one other YouTuber I like, and that's BGF, and he has you on, and I think your takes are amazing. And you know, I hope I don't even know if you know who I am. If you haven't been watching Jake's show a long time, you wouldn't know. Even though I'm on a lot, but King is my boy. King doing it up. That's my boy, man.
You guys were at that press conference together last year.
At the press conferences, we had a lot of very positive opinions about a former quarterback. What was his name again? Oh, God, I forget. I don't want to remember his name. Now, quarterback-wise, and again, I am totally draft ignorant. I will be the first to admit it, but because I don't watch a lot of college football. If I watch college football, I wouldn't be married 40 years because between the Mets and the Jets, I can't have another sport. Otherwise, I'd have to probably go bankrupt and lose my wife and my family. But it's enough that I had to add Jake to my repertoire of things that I do every day, and I hear enough shit about that. And, so I keep it as simple as possible. I mentioned this on Jake's show before about this guy, Tyler Shuck. What's your thoughts on this? One thing I will say is, and I think this is an advantage. I know he's 26 years old, but, we need a quarterback that's not going to take, 2 years to mature, 3 years. A 22-year-old kid, when he comes to New York, it's a big deal. The media eats you up. Everything happens. And, I think it's an advantage to have a mature guy coming out of college age-wise. And certainly, you're a different man at 26 than you are at 22. Let's face it. As an athlete, right? You start to really mature and your body really starts to get, and your brain really starts to know a lot about life at 26. That 4-year gap, I think, is a plus rather than a minus. I know it's not a plus when it comes to if he ends up being our franchise quarterback, we're going to end up having a lot more to deal with because of his age. But what are you thinking? What's your thoughts on him? And that's all I have to say, but I'll listen.
Real quick, by the way,
sure.
Gary says lots of people watch college football and are happily married, Neil. I don't leave my couch on Saturday, but to watch the Horns with a neighbor. Been happily married for 13 years.
Talk to me when you're 40. That's what I'm celebrating 40 this year.
How old is Gary? Gary, how old are you?
And Gary,
I'm 41.
He is.
It's 41, Neil. What are you talking
Neil,
about?
I got you in
You
my
got 40
finals
years of
against
marriage, I
me.
thought.
This call's not helping you, man. I got you going all the way to the finals where you face
But wait
me.
a minute. I just because I don't like college football, I don't watch it. I don't dislike it. Let me restate that.
You can't
There's
be
only
married
so much-
and watch. Go ahead.
There's only so much, Gary, you could do in life. I can't be dedicated to watching college football on Saturdays. That's my golf day. And, I have a lot of different things that I deal with in life, and it's just not something I like to do. I mean, you're from Texas, right, Gary?
Mm-hmm.
Texas is college football country. I mean, New York, what the hell do we have in New York? Syracuse? Who are we going to root for in New York as college football goes? I have Hofstra down the block.
That's where I went to school.
You went to Hofstra?
Yeah.
Hofstra's right around the block from me here. I wish the Jets were still in training camp here. They'd probably throw me out of Hofstra about 6 different times. But, now everything I've ever done. I used to live in New Jersey, very close to Farm Park. And then the Jets moved to, when they were in Shea Stadium, I lived in New Jersey. Then I moved to Queens. Then they moved to New Jersey. Then the Jets had Hofstra camp. Then they moved to New Jersey. They do it for me, I think. I think they want to stay away from me, and that's why they go and move everything they need to do. So that's my luck with the Jets. But what do you think of Tyler Shuck, Gary? You know anything about this guy?
Yeah, I watched him at I watched them at Texas Tech.
Hold on a second, Gary. I'll come back. I don't care about your opinion on Tyler Shuck. I have Dylan on. I have Dylan. Neil, thank you very much. I have too much respect for Dylan to have to listen to him, listen to Gary break down a quarterback when Dylan does this for a living. Dylan, go ahead.
I appreciate that, and Gary's nice. I met him on Boy Green's channel as well. Neil, I am familiar with you. Thank you for watching Buffalo Monday nights, especially. I am familiar with you. I hope the dog's not in the room while you're smoking that cigar. I watched that. I'm team dog here. But as far as Shuck, I mean, I said it at the top. He's had probably one of the best pre-draft processes from the quarterback position. And a lot of that probably has to do with his maturity and just the amount of pure football that the kid has seen throughout his career, so to speak. Like I said, he played 3 games, I think, with Oregon in 2018. And then, as Gary alluded to, he transferred to Texas Tech. And then now he's with Louisville. But 32 starts since 2018 doesn't sit well with me. So, yeah, you've been experienced. You've been around the block. You see it all. But if you still can't read a defense at an NFL level, I'm not sure what you really possess other than a very strong arm to me. I don't think he's got the elite accuracy. I don't know about his processing. The most exposure I had to him was down at the Senior Bowl, where I did think he was the best quarterback of the group. And I watched them on day 1 and day 3 at the Senior Bowl just to get the full picture of their progression. But it's tough for me. I mean, he's getting skyrocketed up these boards to the point where people are saying he might be QB4. And if that's the case, that's a day 2 pick, in my opinion, whereas I probably value him more 5th round, So, but again, it's quarterback, so they're going to get vaulted up. People are going to fall in love with their guy. I don't want the Jets to say we fall in love with this guy because his second NFL contract is going to come when he's 30 years old.
Neil writes in, let me be clear. My dog gets Prince treatment and eats better than 90% of the chat. He is my boy.
All right, you're swaying back. You're swaying back. I treat my dogs well. I feed them probably better than I eat most nights too. So I appreciate that. The trachea thing sucks though.
Yeah, not great. D's Nuts says, Dylan, thank you for picking him to win.
Absolutely.
Super chat. Johnny Boy says, I, Johnny Boy, do not approve a Beast campaign. Well, I don't think people approved of your campaign, to be fair, Johnny Boy, but you still won. So we'll see if it works for Beast in his matchup tomorrow afternoon. Big fellow with a super chat. Charles, if I could get past JJ, I'm going to blow your mind. Not discounting JJ at all, but you have no idea what I have planned. Ladies and gentlemen, that matchup could be coming in the Sweet 16 if the big fella could get there against Gorman. But Gorman's got his work cut out for him against Johnny Boy first. So that will be a fascinating region, part of the bracket to watch. I wanted to ask you about Jackson Dart. Henny brought it up earlier. Dart, if they took him, where would you be comfortable the Jets potentially drafting him if you do like him?
Yeah, so full transparency, I've watched 4 or 5 games of Jackson Dart, and I'm trying to go chronologically because I like, again, with the Senior Bowl, watching the first day and the last day, you get to see the full progression, a full picture of it, even if you don't watch every game. So I started off with his first 2 games of the season, which were Furman University, which without Google, if anybody could tell me where Furman University is, congratulations. Wake Forest was their second opponent. Again, either a Power 5 school or Power 4 school, whatever you want to classify them as. And then they had 2 other matchups that weren't available to me. In those 4 games alone, Ole Miss outscored their opponents 220-22. So it's very, very hard when people are doing, like, he was dropping back a 5-yard drop, 1 hitch, throwing a post with 6 yards of separation against Furman. He had 480 yards, 6 total touchdowns. It's very hard to get a full grasp of what he can do based off those early games. So as I got into the middle of the season, he's playing Kentucky, who has a very strong defensive line led by Dayon Walker, their defensive tackle, who sidebar, he looked very sloppy at the combine. But then they played South Carolina, and their defensive line is full of prospects. They got DeAndre Jules, Kyle Kennard, TJ Sanders, Tonka Hemingway. Like they're loaded up front. And my notes and the discrepancy in the positives and negatives in those 2 games versus the first 2 games were very, very contrasting. And Jackson Dart, to me, He's got some things that you can hang your hat on, like the mobility. He's got those Josh Allen flashes where he's like 3rd and 8 and he puts his body on the line to try to get the first down. And you love to see it. The toughness is clearly on display. He has some good moments of accuracy and then some really poor moments of accuracy that come down to his mechanics, his footwork. When your feet are pointing at 2 o'clock on an analog clock, which I know don't exist in this world anymore, but 2 o'clock on an analog clock, you're throwing to your right. You shouldn't be throwing to the middle or to the left side of the field. And a lot of times that happens when you slow down the drop back footwork of Jackson Dart to the 0.5 speed on some of these videos. It's really not good. And I even thought at the combine, and this is nitpicking, he was flaring out a little bit to his right side every time he was doing a 5 or 7 step drop. And I don't know if that's what he was coached to do or if that's just his natural instinct. But when you don't drop straight back in the pocket, you're now putting more pressure. If you're fading out to the right, you're putting pressure on your right tackle and your right guard to really tighten down that arc that the defensive end has to take to get to you. You're shortening the path of the defender. So there's some things like that. The biggest issue to me, Jake, honestly, with Jackson Dart, and I saw this way more in the Kentucky and South Carolina game because he wasn't having success. You hit this kid 3 or 4 times in the first half, he's going to bail out of clean pockets. He's going to throw and duck his shoulder as he's doing it to try to like throw and avoid a hit as the oncoming defender's barreling down on him. So there's a lot to not like as much as there is to like about Jackson Dart. And that to me just makes it too much of a projection pick to say I want to take him where they're considering him. Like 42, I think you can justify most of these quarterbacks, including Dart, but please don't trade up. Please don't take him at 7. Please don't trade down to 15 and take him. Like, let somebody else like the Steelers, take that risk, or the Seahawks. Let those guys take the risk on a Jackson Dart and find yourself with somebody, if you want, like the low floor guys like Will Howard. Go for a low floor guy. Kyle McCord is a low floor guy to me. So it's going to be interesting how they view the class. But Dart to me, man, when you get scared in the pocket, it's hard to overcome that PTSD and that fear, especially at the NFL level where everything is half a second faster. Everybody's coming to you just that much quicker. So it's going to be a lot of what can translate with Jackson Dart for me.
Wow. Long breakdown, but informative breakdown. You can tell Dylan knows his stuff when it comes to Jackson Dart. Huge shout out to everyone on Patreon. Join the Patreon by the end of today if you want your name added to the countdown ticker for the month of March. Hollywood 50 just joined the Patreon. So shout out to Hollywood 50. Also, a huge shout out to Armani AD, Jeff, Bobby Cruz, James Perrin, Johnny Bobani, and Chris G for being our most recent Patreon members. We'll get to more super chats here and then squeeze in some calls as well. Nick Shine writes in, Nate is an esteemed graduate of Furman U. For those who don't know, Nate, a very hairy bastard. Nick, well done. Aaron says trade up and get Sanders, pure passer. I take it you're not in on trading up for Shedeur, are you?
No, not trading up for Shedeur. Last night on Buffalo's channel, he proposed a take where the Jets actually pass on Shedeur at 7 and go elsewhere. And I countered his take by saying it's going to go Carter, Hunter, Sanders to start the draft, and Cam Ward sitting there at 4. That is the enticing trade up spot. Now, obviously, I think that's less likely to happen based on national reporting. But if Cam Ward slips anywhere past 2 and the Giants, the whole pregame warmup with the Giants cleats for Shedeur Sanders, that to me just kind of solidified wherever the Giants are picking, they're going to be focused in on Shedeur Sanders. And then you have the brash and arrogant comments come out from Josina Anderson and Todd McShay saying he's not taking a professional approach and he really didn't seem to care in some of these meetings. What if the Giants just said, hey, dude, we're going to take you at 3 no matter what? And he doesn't really need to put a ton of stock into these other teams. The problem becomes, do the Giants have conviction on him where if somebody falls that they didn't see happening, do they still take Shedeur? Because now Shedeur's in a pickle where I was just kind of rude to these teams, and now they're the only ones that are going to be able to draft me. So I've seen him go mocked in the 20s. I've seen him mocked at 3. I've seen him mocked at 2. Yeah. It's going to be the most interesting process for Shedeur Sanders. The pro day is probably going to, open up more eyes to what his true projection is going to be. But no, I probably wouldn't trade up for him, not to 1 or 2, but if either one is there at 4, I mean, come on, what are we trading? A 3 and maybe a 4 or something, a package of picks that's not detrimental to the future of this team. Where
I don't think you could do it though, Dylan. Why would New England help you?
No, true. That's the point that's the sticking point with me is it's New England. And we've seen Minnesota and Detroit make trades in the Aaron Glenn regime. I know he was defensive coordinator, but he's seen interdivision trades. It's just a matter of, well, maybe the Patriots want Will Campbell and they think they can get him at 7. So it's that little back and forth game. But if either of them are there at 4, you probably have to blow away the Patriots to get up to that pick.
Story Lynn with a ridiculously dumb super chat, but he paid for it, so I'll read it. Fire Muji and Glenn. I mean, his spelling of Muji there is almost as bad as his spelling of Jeff Olbrick. He referred to him as Olbrick. You don't get rid of Roger and Adams. F a new culture. Screw this. We deserve better. Story Lynn, thanks for the time. I'm not even going to bother. And I was someone who wanted to keep Rodgers, by the way, as were you, Dylan. Michael with a super chat. 55 snaps per game. Brees has to carry at least 20 and 5 passes. BA 7 to 8, Davis 2 to 3, Garrett Wilson 10, tight end 1 5, only about 5 left, 2 to 3 screens to Corley. Why spend the 7th pick on a guy who won't get any targets? This is a crazy super chat to have in March, projecting what the offense is going to look like when you just have no idea what the scheme is, what the O-line looks like, what the tight end situation looks like. Like, I appreciate it, Michael, but this is crazy. The one thing I'll say is Brees Hall needs to be used more with this new coaching staff. They got to use him like McCaffrey. He needs to be targeted more in the passing game. I agree with you there. But I can't even break down the rest of your super chat here. We have no idea.
As somebody who, since probably around COVID, probably Zach Wilson's rookie year, as somebody who's kept a spreadsheet of every offensive play the Jets have ever run, this hurts my brain. 55 snaps will start there. That's about 15 less than you should have a game. Good teams average about 70 plays per game on offense. And that's a testament of how long our defense is on the field, especially last year, because we were putting together 12 7-play touchdown drives at the back end of the season. And then the defense is letting up another 15-yard or play drive on the back end. So there was not a lot of time for the Jets to sneak in plays. Brees, yes, has to have 20 carries or at least 20 total touches in a game. You can split the backs up however you really want. I mean, BA should probably get more than that, in my opinion, based on the quarterback. Yeah, we don't know tight end. It's just this is very elaborate for $10. And yeah, like I said, as somebody who charts all the plays that they've ever run, it's very tough to wrap my brain around this thinking.
Luppy writes in, Beast will shock the world and sign up for better internet on his matchup day. Well, that day is tomorrow, Luppy. So, something tells me that's not going to happen here. Now, Beast does have a campaign team that he apparently hired because I just received a Venmo and I could be bought. Listener Matt Morris paid me $25, Dylan. I kid you not, to play the Beast Breaker against Briga campaign ad once again. Look at this. $25 to run the Beast promo again. And since everyone who watches the show knows I'm a capitalist, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote for the Beast. You know why? Because I'm a man's man. I'm a man's man, and let me just say this. 5 times I went back-to-back 5 different times. I've singled 4 titles in my illustrious career. 3 Triple Crowns, 2 Grand Slams, a Hall of Famer. I fit in like the likes of Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Ric Flair, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Gene Kaniski, and many of the other greats. And don't let my hair fool you. I'm bigger, I'm badder, I'm smarter. I'm not fat, but I'm a man's man, and I'm going to tell it like it is. Vote for the Beast, and you'll see the difference between facts.
Will it be enough for Beast tomorrow against Dave Briga? I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be up to the voters. That is the second matchup tomorrow. This time tomorrow, Beast versus Briga. One punch, Briga. Quick update on ASMANIAC Madness during today's show. Another blowout, folks. King Loski up 75-25 over the great Jennergy. Tough matchup for both, but King Loski is comfortably in front right now. So looks like Loski will advance to the round of 32. A couple super chats here for you, Dylan, related to the draft, and we'll let you run. This one is
Wait,
from
real
Ralphie.
quick before we get to the super chat. Sorry, I was going back while you ran the ad for Beastbreaker. 3 games this season, the Jets had less than 55 snaps per game. San Fran, Arizona, and sorry, one more down, all the way down here. Miami. So you had 3 games of under 55 snaps. So
Wow.
You need a lot more offensive plays constructed in that tweet there, Michael.
All right, Ralphie, 5 raffle entries with this super chat here of $20. Thoughts on day 3 picks from Bama, Malachi Moore, CJ Dupree. You're the draft guy, Dylan. Break it down.
Yeah, Malachi Moore to me, another guy that I've kind of been following loosely for a couple seasons. I do spring game write-ups on like the 2 deep depth charts. I'll look at the starters and then the backups because you want to see the future plan. Malachi Moore has been that, I guess, what they call a star position, which is more of like a safety slot hybrid guy. So, yeah, he's not being looked at as like a great prospect. Day 3 is probably the range. But to me, you have Michael Carter. So unless you're planning on fully moving him to safety, I don't know if that's the exact fit. And then Dupree, the tight end, I mean, dude, double up. Free agency draft, 2 in the draft. You can even triple up and go free agency and then 2 in the draft. I know we don't have a ton of picks for all that allocation to one position, but Dupree is one of those guys on my list where you have to at least think about it. I mean, 6'4", 256. He jumped out of the gym considerably, 10 foot broad, 34.5-inch vert, 32 bench press reps, which led all the tight ends that did the bench press at the combine. Obviously, I think more will do it at their pro day. But again, yeah, like you said, day 3 pick, why not take a flyer? If you go and get Tyler Warren at 7 and you don't want to come back and double dip until the 5th round, that's where you would probably see a Dupree come off the board.
Fiore wants your thoughts on Quinn Ewers as a prospect.
Yeah, Quinn, again, another guy you probably just had to follow for a long time if you're a college football fan. To Neil's point, I don't watch college football on Saturdays. I have a weekend job, a second job that I do, so it kind of takes up my time from watching football live at the collegiate level. But if you go back and watch the film, it's kind of the same, except a little bit more expedited in the process. But Ewers is a guy, I mean, kid skipped his high school senior season or senior year altogether and transferred into Ohio State. He used to rock a mullet. He was very polarizing at the time. Obviously, he sat behind the likes of Stroud for a couple seasons, and they didn't really, have a plan for him, so he transferred out. And then he found success with Steve Sarkisian in Texas. But I think the injuries, he's a little bit frail. Again, one of those guys that I would probably take on day 3, back to the last super chat. He's not somebody who you can hang your hat on as a top 50 pick. Even a top 75 pick would probably be stretching it for me. I saw a mock draft where he was QB3 off the board in a scenario where scouts believed a run on quarterbacks was going to happen, and the Raiders actually took him at 6 as QB3, and then we took Dart as QB4 at pick 7. So I was very much not a fan of that mock draft that I read, but Ewers is somebody who, I think a better college player than a NFL player.
How about these comments here? Luppy, loving Dylan's takes. Need him on more through the draft. Gary wants to know how people could find you. So, Dylan, we will let you plug yourself before we let you go. Would you be interested in becoming a regular this offseason, Dylan, on this program?
Yeah, if we could work out the times, like I told you offline, I'm moving in a couple weeks, so I'll have a slightly different work schedule. And I know 4 o'clock is your afternoon window, but if I can make it on for 4 o'clock, hell yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
I'd start at 4:30 for you, Dylan. You're worth it.
I appreciate that because every little bit counts. Every minute you're on the clock counts. So I do appreciate that. But yeah,
absolutely.
Man, I love it.
Yeah,
and I love the chat. I appreciate them. Like what you do is irreplicable. Like I don't think anybody could put together such a bracket like this of just true callers, even if it's not Jets content. So I don't have many polarizing non-Jets takes, but the Jets takes I have plenty of.
I love it. Well, all right, Dylan, great job. We will definitely get you on again soon. Tell all the Asmaniacs where they could find your work. Some of them are obviously familiar with you either in the chat or what you do with BJF or friend of the show, Glenn Naughton, but tell people where they could find your content.
Absolutely. Yeah. On Twitter, At D Tereman, just D, my last name, as you see it written in the description here. You can follow Jet Nation directly on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, our forums at jetnation.com. I'm sure we have a MySpace page if that's still up and running, because Jet Nation has been around since 2005. We just celebrated our 20th birthday a couple weeks ago. So you can follow me at jetnation.com.
It's almost older than you.
No, absolutely. I mean, I look 20. I'm 30 in a couple weeks, but I look 20 and I look younger than Jet Nation. But yeah, and then follow me on YouTube. I do Monday with BJF. That's a pretty regular thing for the last year and a half. Thursday nights, we try to go live, Glenn and I, on the Jet Nation YouTube channel. I'm going to start branching off and doing my own subgroup of draft videos, breaking down the quarterbacks on the Jet Nation channel. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. And sneak peek for the people who are unfamiliar with me completely, I alluded to the play charting, every play from the Jets since 2021. I'm trying to make that into a readable online version for people to consume so that it's less hairy when you're looking at a big spreadsheet full of numbers that nobody knows what they are. So I'm trying to make it all into a digestible internet view for everybody. So stay tuned for that. And I appreciate everybody in the chat.
Dylan, good luck with the move, man. We'll get you on again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate it.
Dylan Tereman, go follow his work. Great stuff on the draft and the Jets. Really good insight from him. Enjoy his appearances with BJF and Glenn. So about time we had him on the show. Michael with a super chat. Obviously, have to sign a veteran quarterback. So if you drafted QB, it means goodbye, Jordan Travis. Michael, Jordan Travis is not the answer. This regime that is here did not take him. He is not even healthy to our knowledge yet. His agent's trying to blame the Jets, which is the laziest load of bullshit I've ever heard. Like, the Jets rushed him back. They had Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. He was never seeing the field. His agent was telling teams last year his client's going to be ready for training camp, which was bullshit. It never happened. So please, Jordan Travis and his agent could go screw. Jordan Travis could remove Jets from his social media. I don't care. He's not the Jet quarterback long term. See you later. So no, if I believe in one of these quarterbacks, if I'm Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn, Jordan Travis is not stopping me from taking one of them, and I'm still trying to sign a veteran. As far as your other point here, they do need a tight end, safety, and linebacker. I would imagine a combination of both the draft and free agency will be used to address those needs. But please, I'm not, we got to see what we have in Jordan Travis. Okay. I wish him well, but after he took a shot at the Jets to his agent, go screw. You can blame the Jets for a lot of things, but we really are supposed to believe they tried to rush him back? Okay. Sure. Rye the General with a super chat. Sam Darnold release. Reunion, not happening. All right. There's a better chance Charles Gorman never farts on air again than the Jets signing Sam Darnold. Let's be real. Speaking of Gorman, he says, I want Tyler Warren at 7. Interesting. Very interesting. Nick Shine with a take about the tournament. Jennergy losing like this tells me Craig will win a blowout against Sarah. I don't know about that. I think King Loski is just a really tough matchup for anyone. I mean, if Loski called more the last few months, he's probably a 2 seed. And he's such a good caller, you could argue he could be a 1 seed. We just have too many great callers. It's hard to slot everyone. JD says, Gator campaigning for Beast. He doesn't want all his work to be for naught. So true. Beast hired Gator as his campaign manager. He's like Paul Heyman for Beast. We know Beast loves his wrestling references. God. It's going to be fascinating what happens in that matchup tomorrow. One Punch Briga is going to bring it. I'm seeing some interesting comments from Dave. Briga's accusing this tournament to being rigged. He says he's being set up by the deep state. Strong takes from Mr. Briga. All right, let's get to a couple more of your calls coming up. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Reminder to those of you just tuning in. Kevin Mawai, signed helmet, added to the Hall of Fame raffle later this week. Just added this today. Mawai helmet, Namath signed helmet, Maynard signed helmet, Revis signed helmet, Martin signed helmet. Find me the show that's giving you that. All right. 5 Hall of Fame themed raffles. Gift away if you want in to our next Asmaniac raffle. We will get to More of your calls coming up. Comments, questions, your super chats. We'll cut the line. Quick break, and we get back to it right here on a Tuesday Jake Asman program. Give us a little moonwalk.
I can't. I got the ankle. Oh, do you not know what happened?
No, did something happen recently?
Yeah, when I was in New York, I got hit by a car.
Is there security footage of this? Can I play it on the show?
So they would probably have the footage. I mean, what am I going to do with it now?
Gator's already working on a production of this, so
yeah, I think that's why I didn't want to bring it up.
I'm going to play a drop, and then that's your cue to make a face like you got hit by a car. You ready?
All right, I'll do it.
Here we go. Ready? And Gator writes in, can he throw the headset off and vomit?
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm gonna go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
You could have died.
But I didn't.
Completely fell asleep and let himself get bitch slapped by them. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's about to tie Marvin Lewis most consecutive playoff losses. Let me finish, okay? Are you...
That's a bad football team. That is poorly coached.
It's a sad life being a Jets fan, man.
I'm just destroyed with this team.
I hate them. I hate them.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Death, taxes, and the Jets just stabbing a stake in our hearts.
We have all this talent and can't do anything with it.
I've got no words. It was brutal.
25.
I don't even know what to say.
I don't know how much more I could take for this.
They are doing irreparable damage to this fan base.
It's the brand new song, Power of Dog!
I saw Bonesy last night playing basketball. He stinks. All right? Bonesy plays basketball like with a piano on his back.
I could ball, so Peter's just trying to get me egged up here.
That looks like me playing basketball.
See, I watched last night. It was really bad.
He does need a belt for his pants, I think.
What'd you watch me do, though? You watched me take 4 warm-up jumpers.
I just watched you move around. It's like you got cement shoes on.
Oh, my God.
Bonesy, I love you, but you're not a basketball player.
Peter, how does he shoot?
He had a two-handed, like, old man shot from the corner that didn't go in.
And they caught the robber of your place of work yet.
I choose not to talk about that.
Well, this is concerning, Scott. I don't know if I can make a commitment to broadcast from your place of work if there's a robber on the loose.
So you're going to be downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, whatever you want to do. At some point, I don't know, whatever.
Where are we going again, Scott?
Saratoga. You're going right at the bunker. Everyone can get down. It's cool.
And to be clear, you're not a suspect in the robberies right now.
I was on camera, and the camera was looking at the back of my head and saw my bun. He thought it was me. That's how that happened.
Okay.
I want everybody up here. English, Puerto Rican, that's why I'm here. And I know you want the mayor. I know you do. Should I say something or no?
Scott, to be honest, I really don't know what you're saying right now.
The mayor has lunch at the bunker a couple times a week. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Let's catch this robber first before I go.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. I'll. Do you want me? He was apprehended and released.
That's not good, Scott. Why was he released?
Jake, I don't know, man. Maybe a PR reason. Not have it in the papers, whatever.
A PR reason? He robbed your place of work. How was he just released?
It's not my call, dude. I have no clue.
Gunny, your thoughts on that call?
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered?
The summer of Scott. Wasn't that fun? Scott's going to be a tough out in the tournament for those of you who've been with me for longer than 6 months. Hit that like button. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Paolo with an Asmaniac super chat. He says ASMAN. Asman. Thank you, Paolo. Appreciate your support. C with a super chat. My friend saw Jordan Travis limping at the airport less than 2 months ago. He was never going to be the savior here. Him and his agent are clowns. Folks, Jordan Travis is more likely to not be on the Jets than he is this year. All right. And his agent doing what he did doesn't help. All right. Forget Jordan Travis. It's a nice idea. He's not even healthy yet. His agent was lying to teams last year saying he's going to be ready for the start of training camp. How come no one brings that up? Why do I have to be the one to say it? Oh, because people in the media won't say it because I got to be buddy-buddy with all these agents to get stories. I'll tell you, go screw that guy. Please. All right, let's get to more of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why when this bracket came out, he was the #1 overall seed in the tournament. Let's bring him in.
My mother wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm on StreamYard, Mom. I'm on YouTube.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Charles, you're the best, dude. I can't. Mom, the meatloaf.
The meatloaf!
Mom, meatloaf.
Hey, Charles.
I'm at Costco right now having a bit of a bite to eat.
Oh, what are you eating?
I just had a slice of cheese pizza.
Am I still paying for that too?
No, I pay with my own money. Stop being a smartass.
Okay, sorry, Charles.
Listen, I know a lot of people are upset with me because of what I said in regards to Lane Train, but they got to get over it. This is the second year in a row heading into the draft where he sees an imaginary player or makes up an imaginary player. But look, as for Tyler Warren at 7,
Hold on a second. Dixon Hole is not imaginary, Charles. Put some respect on a prospect's name.
Well, what college did he come from? Don't say he just came from college.
No, Arizona State.
I think he means the quarterback that's a sophomore.
Arizona State. Lane says it
I
in the
know
prospect
Arizona
evaluation.
State is. First of all, Dixon Hole sounds like a porn star name for anal.
Family show, Charles.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
What do you mean, yeah, whatever? There's kids watching this show.
As a kid. Okay, whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
Anyway.
It's true. Children watch this show. Connor Long. All right? He's like in middle school.
Well, first of all, he's a teenager. He's not just a kid. He's a teenager.
Well, there's other children who watch the show. Have you ever met Mr. Bonesy's lovely daughter? I mean, come on.
No, I have not. Second,
how often do you get recognized in public? Has anyone come up to you and said, wow, you're Charles Gorman from the ASMANIAC Madness?
Yeah, I ran the Sham BTW when I used to do the program at JFK Hospital Rehab Center.
He's a big fan of yours.
I know.
And by the way, just so you know, Charles, here's Gary, who's always serious. So I think this adds some credibility to it. Dixon Hole is the reason why Jaden Daniels left ASU in the first place to go to LSU. So take that for data.
I'll look him up. Anyway, I do want Tyler Warren at 7 because obviously we let go of Davante Adams, which I know a lot of Jet fans are upset. I know a lot of
Gary. Have you ever seen Decker call into the show? She's a child.
Who, Gary's daughter? Yeah, I saw her. She's cute.
Right, so it's a family show. As you're using the word anal around these parts. What are we doing here?
My apologies, Jake. But anyway, I would like, as you can see in my headline, I do want Tyler Warren at 7.
Are you a Warren whisperer?
Maybe.
All right, well, you know what you have to do then if you want Warren. We make everyone do it that calls in. You have to whisper, Warren at number 7.
I already did that yesterday, Jake, remember?
Yeah, but if you're going to advocate for him, you have to do it every day. That's what being a
Tyler Warren at 7.
Oh, yeah, it was too loud. It's got to be a whisper.
7.
One more time.
At 7.
There you go. Now you're a Warren whisperer.
Here's another napkin for him.
Also, what samples are you eating?
I'm not having any sample. I just had a slice of cheese pizza at Costco.
Yeah, but
which I paid for with my own money.
Well, I understand that. They have samples, though. Are you trying anything else?
Yeah. Didn't have any samples that I liked.
Go give us a tour. Let's see what we could find. Are you a Costco guy? You going to give us a...
I've been a fan of Costco since I was a child.
When you were a young whippersnapper?
Yes, Jake. By the way, how old are you, Jake?
How old do I look, Charles?
You look like in your early to mid 20s.
Early to mid 20s. Damn, you think I'm really young? I'll take it.
Where you going? I'm walking around. Oh, we're heading out now?
Who are you with?
All right. Steady Eddie.
Oh,
Hi,
Steady
how are
Eddie
you?
Gorman.
How you
Eddie,
doing?
how are you?
Good, good.
Did Eddie have any free samples?
You gotta get back home. All right, I know.
Did Eddie have any samples?
No, I just had a chicken bake for dinner.
What do you have? A chicken what?
Chicken bake.
That sounds fantastic.
It is fantastic. They are delicious here.
Did I pay for that
Anyway.
also?
What?
Did I pay for that also?
No, he paid for. Would you stop with always you paying for crap?
What do you mean?
I paid for. You
I
paid
paid
for my
60
meal. Now
bucks.
you're paying for everything. I don't ask you to pay for everything. I did it as a joke. Now get over it.
Just take it easy there, Chuck. Jeez.
Well, pardon me.
You're so feisty, Charles. Just calm down.
Well, I'm a sensitive guy.
I can see that.
But we talked about cornerbacks, but are there any good offensive linemen in this draft? I also want to know. I think there's like because I wouldn't mind taking an offensive lineman at 7. Oh, blueberry jam! I love jam. I love these crackers too. The club snack crackers. Yes.
How much are you buying from Costco, Charles?
I'm not buying anything. I'm just having a sample.
Can you sample it on the air for us?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
But you didn't answer my question, Jake. Are there any good offensive linemen in this draft?
There's a couple of them.
Name one.
Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks Jr., Armin Mebu.
Good to know.
Give us a score out of 10. Rate that.
I love blueberries. I love jam. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
That's a rookie score. That's the best blueberry jam you've ever had?
It's the only blueberry jam I've ever had.
Well, you got to leave room for improvement then.
A 10 out of 10 is not a rookie score. A 10 out of 10 is a masterpiece. It's a
Yes, it
perfect
is.
score.
That means there's no room for it to ever be better anywhere else in your life. You got to give it like a 9.7.
A 9 or a 7?
Like a 9.7.
Well, I'm giving it a 10, and I'm not taking it back.
Okay. What else can you eat on the air for everyone?
Oh, these must be gummies. Are these like gummies? Thank you, Nicholas. I'm trying these Albanese Easter Cottontail gummies. That tastes very good. Are they gluten-free? Yes, they are gluten-free. Thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you, Nick. What's in the cup there? Soda? Little Pepsi?
Yes, Pepsi, I know. Costco
Pepsi.
only has... I like Pepsi, but I prefer Coke, so don't worry about it.
Pepsi Zero or
Regular Pepsi. I'm not into that zero stuff.
no? Standard Pepsi?
Standard Pepsi, standard Coke.
How about a hot dog, Charles? Can you slurp down a
I got a
wiener?
slice of pizza.
Yeah, but Costco's got great hot dogs.
I know their hot dogs are long. I've had them before. My mother buys them. They're good. Yes.
You don't like a long wiener?
Aha, very funny.
No, I'm being serious. We're talking about hot dogs here. Dollar Dog, come on.
I'm pretty good right now. Just wanted to get us some samples. Excuse me.
How's Steady Eddie doing?
He's doing fine. He's looking for work.
Aren't you looking for work as well?
Yes, but I'm waiting. Yes, I am.
How about you work at Costco? You seem to like the food that you're sampling.
I was been told that multiple times, but I gotta wait for DVRS.
I think at Costco, you'd be able to really maximize your ability to talk with people and food.
True, but I said I gotta wait for DVRS.
Luppy wants to know who's paying today, me or your mom?
I paid. So why does everyone keep insisting that?
Well, I paid a lot of money last time you went out and about.
Yes, but that was different, Jake. I'm sorry. I'm not as skinny as I used to be. I'm talking to myself. I'm sorry. I said I'm not as skinny as I used to be. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Matthias wants you to let it rip at Costco if you got it in you.
I'm not. Would you? You know, this is what really aggravates me with you guys. There are certain people that only care about me farting in my damn chicken soup. Get a freaking life. I don't fart every day. I mean, I do fart every day, but I don't fart every day on my shows. And I didn't fart on.
You're on my show.
I don't want
now.
to hear it, Jake.
You're on my show, Charles.
Yes, but still. It's like every time I come, you guys are expecting me to fart, talk about my mother's chicken soup. You know, it's freaking ridiculous.
Charles, you have built quite the brand here. You're saying
I
like
don't
this is negative.
care. I don't care. There's more to me than just the farts and the chicken soup.
I think we agree
I
with
don't
that.
fart all the time on my show. Yes,
Yeah,
I
but-
farted a few times on my show, but I don't do it all the time.
Correct.
You said to me,
Can I finish?
yes.
Buzz Lightyear had a catchphrase, right? To infinity and beyond. Your catchphrase is you pass and gas. There's more to Buzz, just like there's more to you. But that's how what you're identified. I'm identified as the Jet guy. I also talk about other sports on ESPN New York as well. So that's just the brand. You were born to fart. You know, Bruce Springsteen was born to run, and you were born to fart. You got to embrace it.
I've been farting for years, Jake. I've been farting since I was a baby. I've been farting since I was a kid. We all fart, Jake. Even women fart.
Do they?
Yes.
Really? I thought it's only men that fart.
Ha ha. Very funny, Jake.
No, I'm serious. I thought it was just a man thing.
Whoever told you that?
That's just what I was going off of my whole life. Women fart?
They got anuses too, Jake. They fart too.
Whoa, Charles, family program here.
I said anuses. That means butt. That means butts.
That's just a weird way to say it. Who's driving?
And I'm just waiting for his ass to come here.
Steady Eddie?
Yes.
Also, Roseanne is a woman, and she says that women never do. I can assure you.
I believe that when pigs fly.
Who'd you vote for in ASMANIAC Madness, by the way? Did you go with King Loski or Jennergy?
Unfortunately, I went with Jennergy, but congrats to King Loski.
Well, it's not over yet. It's not over until Charles Gorman sings.
What do you mean until I fart? Yeah, right.
Or until Charles Gorman farts. It is a blowout, though, Charles. Now, I'm curious your take on the other matchups in your region, because tomorrow your region will be completed. We got two more that will happen on the show tomorrow. So we have
Mike D's Nuts against who?
Mike D's Nuts and Barbarossa, and then the final matchup in the region.
Well, I'm going with Barbarossa, considering Mike D's Nuts was a douchebag to me. So going with Barbarossa.
Wow. So Charles Gorman is giving the endorsement to Barbarossa. Is this true?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And then how about in the Beast Breaker versus Brigham matchup?
You know, everyone keeps calling Beast Breaker a racist. I wasn't on Bobby Shaw when that incident happened, but Look, I don't know what Beastbreaker said that was racist, but I know a lot of people never really liked him. To me, he's okay. He's a fine, he's a passionate guy. But if he was truly a racist, I don't think you would allow him on.
Yeah, I agree with you, Charles.
But Dave Brigger, I don't know much about him. I know he's been on the show for a lot, but I don't know much about him.
Do you think One Punch Dave Briga is going to knock out Beastbreaker?
One Punch, like One Punch Man. Still got to catch up on season 2.
Yeah. I see.
I don't know. But I'm definitely going for Barbarossa. Because Mike Deeds Nuts was disrespectful to me.
Now, what is this beef with you and Mike D's Nuts? Where does this originate from?
He called me overrated for no freaking reason. Because I criticized Lane Train for his take on... You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know. What are you talking about?
When I said that, I said about Crave criticizing him for Dixon Hole. And he called me overrated. So I called him an a-hole. That's what he deserves.
Well, to be fair, you were talking out of your rear end with the Dixon Hole stuff.
Let me look up this Dixon Hole stuff right now.
Please do. You'll see that he's a quarterback on Arizona State. That's why Jaden Daniels transferred.
Watch me look this shit up, and then... You still with me, Jake?
Oh, I never would leave you, Charles. Hey, while you look it up,
Dixon Hall Lewis is a former United States senator, but he's old as hell.
Hold on. Let me get the people what they want in the meantime.
Oh my god. Arizona State University. I knew it. Dixon Hall may refer to a residency hall at Jackson State University.
Mike D's Nuts writes in, I'm in Charles' head. Is Mike D's Nuts in your head, Charles?
He's not in my head. He wishes he was.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who just received the ultimate endorsement ahead of his matchup tomorrow, Barbarossa, has called in to say hello to Mr. Gorman. Hello, Barbarossa.
Oh, man. Charles, I so appreciate it. You know, we September 10th boys got to stick together. So cheers to you, buddy.
Wait, what? You were born on September 10th also? What year?
1990. I'm a little older than you, man. I'm older than Jake, too, you know. But,
I
yeah.
see you wearing a Sauce Gardner jersey. I like that.
Yeah, man. I'm going to the Jet game tonight. I don't know if the Asmaniacs know this, but the Jets are
What
playing
Jet game? The Jets aren't playing tonight.
Yeah, they're playing at UBS Arena, baby. JETS.
Who are they playing against?
The Islanders.
Oh, you mean the Jet hockey team?
Yeah, the Winnipeg. But I'm gonna
Jet hockey team.
I'm gonna get some Jet chants at this game. We're gonna see how wild we can get at this game with like 17 people in the stands.
Who was your favorite Jet player growing up, if you don't mind me asking?
Growing up, it was definitely Wayne Corbett. He was the reason I became a Jet fan. Loved him. I just thought he was so tough. And like when I was a kid and wrestled, my coach and my dad were always like, "Yeah, you're kind of like him. He's small and everybody, but he's tough as nails." So I loved him.
It's a shame I never got to see Wayne Corbett play. Unfortunately, my Wayne Corbett was Wes Welker, who I think was a great receiver.
He's a Patriot, though. Oof.
I know, and a Bronco, and a Dolphin, and a Charger.
Okay.
But he was great, though. I mean, he and Brady, I know it's going to piss off a lot of Jet fans, but as much as I hated the Patriots, my favorite quarterback wide receiver combo growing up was Tom Brady and Wes Welker. Because they were, like, amazing together. And as much as I freaking hated the Patriots, I always admired their chemistry.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, we got to watch chemistry in action 2 times a year, so it's hard not to respect the game. But yeah, Corbett would be my favorite. A modern Jet, I would say Darrelle Revis was probably my favorite.
That was my favorite Jet growing up.
Yeah.
I still have not forgiven the Jets for trading Darrelle Revis to the Bucs.
I mean, he honestly, look, who did we get from him? We wound up getting Sheldon Richardson, who was mad good, and D. Milner, I think we took, who was like, but we got a little bit for him. But
yeah, we shouldn't have traded him though. He was recovered from his ACL injury,
I
And
don't think he wanted to be on the team. I think he wanted more money, or like we traded him because he just
no, it
wanted more
wasn't
money, right?
like that. I don't think it was. I
No,
don't think he wanted to leave.
no, maybe I think maybe he was in the last year of his contract. I think that's what it was, and we weren't going to pay him. We weren't going to pay him the next contract because he was on a Band-Aid contract, right? Because in 2011 he held out before the season, and then he wanted like 20-something million dollars. I still have the New York Post back page somewhere in my room. Like my mom sent it to me for like my birthday or something because I remember it happened like just before the season started. But I think it was because of that.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
All right, Barbarossa, you got the coveted endorsement from Gorman. You guys did a little jet show there. I think you're in a good spot against a very tough competitor, Mike D's nuts tomorrow, Barbarossa. How we feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling the same thing. I think the boys just got to all come together and play hard. So we can grind one out though. It's not going to be easy, but I like my chances now more than I did this morning. I think I'm starting to pick up some speed, if you will.
Wow, Gorman cut out of here. Charles, where'd you go? Hold on, he's back. There he is.
Someone said I like Tom Brady. I didn't say I liked Tom Brady. I'm talking to someone in the chat. I liked his chemistry with Wes Welker. And someone said F. Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis is one of the greatest lockdown shutdown corners of all time and one of the greatest players in Jets history.
The greatest.
Joe Klecko was pretty damn good too.
Anyway, Barbarossa, good luck tomorrow. I think the Jet jersey at the Jet Islander game tonight is hilarious. Nicely done. So let me know how those Jet jerseys.
I'm gonna send you some pictures. Me and the wife are wearing matching sauce jerseys. I'll send you some pictures. All right.
I'll tweet it out so it can go viral on Jets Twitter. That's all.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Thank you. All right, love you, Asmaniacs. Jake, you're the best. Charles, you're the man too. You ain't overrated, baby. You are underrated. You're number one, and you're underrated.
There you go. Barbarossa aligning himself with Gorman. Charles, this has been a very interesting call from you. I think we covered a lot of ground. You gave us a little tour in Costco. Is your brother in the car yet?
No, he's not in the car yet. And Nick Sean thinks I'm a Patriot. I don't know what the hell's going on with these people.
Who
I'm
does?
a Patriot. Nick Sean thinks I'm a Patriot fan. I'm not. I'll never bleed Boston.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Just because the place is a different. I mean, if there was one player on the Patriots that I respected the most, though.
Now, Charles, can I bring something up to you? I think that's important on a day like today. We lost Gorman, it looks like. Look at this. Someone screenshot this and tweet me this. At Jake Asman. Go follow. Now, there's a joke. Charles, you there?
Costco the whole time.
Charles?
Yes, I'm there.
All right.
I'm here, Jake.
King Loski's currently dominating, and I think a lot of people remember King Loski for a lot of different things, but I think one of his more memorable moments
because he's asking me to bring him food where I don't know where he lives. My mother's not going to just let me send soup to a person she's never met nor she don't know. And it's got nothing to do with race or skin or whatever the hell people think it is, but I got nothing against King Loski. I just don't. I never met him in person.
You did. Charles, Jesus, I was trying to set it up where we bring King Loski on right now so we can thank you for helping him win.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you something, man. Gorman, that ain't got nothing to do with it, Gorman. This between me and you, Gorman. All right? Now, what irritates me, Gorman, is that you got your ass up in that Costco and you ain't get me no ingredients on that damn chicken soup. I need that damn chicken soup, Gorman. You up here eating chicken ziti's and all type of chicken shit. I need your chicken, Charles. Where's the chicken?
It's dead. It's cooking.
It's cooking my ass. It better be cooking in your damn house and in my damn belly, Charles Gorman. You sitting up there farting all types of chicken out your ass. I need that damn chicken soup, Charles.
Well, yesterday, these past couple of days, I had chicken stew. You know what difference between soup and stew? It's different. Soup is thicker than stew.
Hey, Charles, I don't give a damn. You eating good over there, Charles. All types of good meals. You call it and all types of delicious. I need it, Charles. Where's it at?
I don't know where my mother's a good cook. I was born and raised with a good cook.
Tell Mama Gorman I love her and I need it, Charles. JTF, just shit.
Okay, note the sub king. Loski loves my mom. Okay, good to know.
The only thing that can make this night better is some Charles Gorman Mother's Chicken Soup. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Charles, I need some more of that chicken soup.
It's Lenten season for us Christians/Catholics, so.
I need some of it, Charles.
And I'm sorry I didn't have any chicken soup today.
You sitting up there eating enchiladas.
I had a calzone for dinner.
I need it, Charles.
It was delicious.
Where is the recipes, Charles?
Anyways,
I need some of your mama's chicken soup.
I love to eat, so what can I say?
JTF, just shit.
I love this show, man. We got the best callers. That's why Loski is dominating a great opponent in Jennergy right now, Charles. It was all because of your mother's chicken soup recipe.
Well, I'll tell her that she has a fan.
Will you, though?
My mother's a good cook. However, I am close to getting my own place to live, so I'm afraid I won't be having my mother's cooking for long.
Really? This is breaking news. Why did you wait till 20 minutes into the call to let us know that you're getting your own place?
I was going to tell you that yesterday, but my mom was caught up with other shit.
Where are we moving?
I am going to be staying in my township. I may likely move to Island.
Okay. And are you living in a one-bedroom apartment, or you have roommates? What's the situation?
I'm going to be living by myself, similar to what I did in college.
It's going to be an efficiency unit.
It's going to be an efficiency unit.
Am I paying for that too?
No, jackass, you're not paying for that too.
Whoa. Just calm down, man. I don't know where my money's going. It's like the U.S. government, all right? We got to get Doge to investigate how you're spending my money.
You mean my money that I spent on my damn food? You mean my money? Now, I'm not talking about the one you paid for, you gave me for the movie. I'm talking about the money that I've been paying for my bills, my subscriptions, to Disney Plus, Netflix. Shit.
Now, Charles, are you gonna have a house warming party?
I don't know about that.
It'd be very small.
How about I show up and I broadcast the show from the Gorman residence?
If my parents let you.
No. Your new place.
Oh. Well, we'll see.
Oh, wow. You're going to turn me down, huh?
I'm not going to. I said we'll see. Depends on what mood I'm in.
Well, how
right
about you
now,
be
I'm
in a
just
good
thinking
mood?
that right now, I got a lot of things on my mind. You know, my grandmother is in the Roosevelt Care Center. She's doing okay, but she's somewhat losing her will to live.
I'll bring the strippers.
You won't bring no damn strippers.
Why not? You don't know who I know. I'll do a fundraiser on the show. Every super chat will go towards the housewarming strippers at the party.
You didn't even hear what I said, though, about my grandmother.
I did not know. Your connection was choppy.
I said my grandmother's 99. She's in the Roosevelt Care Center, and she's kind of losing her will to live.
I'm sorry to hear that, Charles. I met Grandma Joe on the air the other day, didn't I?
Yes.
She was awesome.
I know. I mean, she's in pretty decent physical shape, but she's feeling depressed. I would say she's feeling depressed.
I think she would love you to get your own place, and then she could see
I
you
told
in
her
action.
that yesterday. She's very happy about that.
See, I'm telling you. Also, 100 years old is an incredible amount of time to live, Charles.
Well, she's 99 actually, but yeah, I understand.
You can round up. She might need some chicken soup, the chat is saying.
I don't think the chicken soup's going to help, but
let's bring her to the party. Bring Grandma Joe to the housewarming party.
That's if she's alive.
She's not doing well.
She's not doing well. She's kind of refusing to eat at times.
Nick Shine writes in, I'd be depressed if my grandson took me out to a movie on Jake Asman's dime.
I would take her to a movie on my dime, not on your dime, Jake.
I'd be happy to take both of you to a movie if you ever ask.
I appreciate that, Jake.
Absolutely. All right, Charles. Well, you keep us posted on the house, all right, the apartment. This is exciting news.
Thank you. And also, I am not portraying my Jets fan base. I just loved watching football as I got into middle school and high school. So I may do an origin. Well, we still have to do an origin video on your channel. You still have to give me a heads up on when we're planning on doing an origin video of me on your channel.
Yes, we will do it once things settle down after free agency.
Which is next week, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
All right. Thank you, Jake.
Well, Charles, thank you very much. And when you get home tonight, watch some film on Dixon, all right? Dixon Holt from ASU.
All right, well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 overall seed for a reason, Charles Eugene M. Gorman.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Loski takes steroids. Give me some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Charles has been on some run these last 2 days. His call selection Sunday night was brutal. And then he's just given us 2 forever calls the last 2 days, reminding the audience who he be. All right? That's how it's done, folks. That's why you're a 1 seed, when you have calls like that. Oh. Incredible. King Loski dominating in the poll right now, 74-26 over Jennergy. I will stay on a little while longer. I'm going to the Knicks game tonight. They're playing the Warriors, so let's go Knicks. JR Jet says McMillan and Wilson 2025. I don't dislike the idea of Tet McMillan. I don't know if I'm sold on taking him at 7 just yet. I'm not against it. I just don't know if I am for it, if that makes sense. I need to watch more of him. Cactus Johnny checks in. As an ASU season ticket holder, Dixon Hole is legit. Don't let Hole being stuck behind Sam Levitt on the depth chart fool you. Think Brady Henson at Michigan. So there you go. I mean, Charles, you came after Lane first, and you're going to have to acknowledge your wrongdoing there. There's no doubt. Bino with a super chat. If Minnesota does sign Darnold to a 3-year deal, JJ going to want out. You giving up a first for JJ. I'm not giving up pick 7 this year. I'd trade maybe next year's first if I believed in him. I'd have to think about it. If the Jets think J.J. McCarthy's a franchise quarterback and they traded next year's 1, okay. But I wouldn't trade this year's 1. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about that. Nick Shine wants to know how Charles is living large without a job, speculating that there's some nefarious acts happening. I don't know about that, Nick. You know Charles as well as anyone. Maybe put on your Big J journalist hat and do some digging. Big Fella wanted Charles to explain what gluten is. We'll save that for next time, Big Fella. Thank you. Let's get to more of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard from this guy's competitor earlier in the show. He is in battle tomorrow in the 7 versus 10 matchup. Mike D's Nuts is in the house. Hello, Mike.
What up, Jake?
What's going on, Mike? How are you?
So, for one, respect to King Loski. Congrats on that win, convincingly. To hell with Fart Boy. Overrated Fart Boy.
Wow.
Barbarossa, I got no beef with, man. We'll play this out tomorrow. I think the community is going to back me up, so I'm not really worried about him. I think I should do pretty well. So I think I should do good, man.
Look, Mike, I think it's a great matchup because both of you are excellent callers, been a part of the community for a while now. It's gonna be fun to see it play out. You both have great beards.
I think it should be fun. I want to see what time. He said he has some things he's gonna pull out. I'm not with all the gimmicks, man. I'm just gonna be a man of the community. He can do whatever he's gonna do. I'm not worried about him. I'm really not. I'm really
show
not.
up and you're just gonna get to work.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show up, get to work. I'm a man of the community. The chat loves me. I love everybody in the chat. I'm not really worried about him. I'm not. I mean, if it doesn't go my way, it doesn't go my way. But Charles, come on, man. We got to stop with Charles.
Where did the beef with Charles start, Mike?
I just his entertainment value doesn't do it for me. He's a fart knocker. Like he just what he farts? All right, good. All right, come on, you fart. Oh, good, cool, dude. You fart. You know, you fucking fart on camera. Great. But you know, what do you do?
Well, you have to acknowledge he doesn't just fart on camera. He lets it rip.
Oh, I'm sure he has shit stains in those drawers, man. I'm sure he does. Because those are explosive. I'm sure he clenched a few butt cheeks over those, man. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, those are some ones where you go, whoops, you know. So, but I'm excited about tomorrow, man. I can't even lie to you. Like tomorrow sounds pretty fun.
It's gonna be a wild battle, Mike. I'm excited to see how you do. All right.
I'm just looking I'm not looking over Barbarossa, but I can go against Beast Brick or I can go against Dave. You know what I mean? If I get past Barbarossa, I mean, it could be fun. And you know my hatred for Beast. You know that.
I know. That's why that second round match. Well, Beast has two people. If he gets by Briga and he has to face you, we're talking about two people that despise him the most to start his tournament run here.
Exactly. I literally despise this dude. I literally what's the word? I loathe him. You know what I mean? So
sure.
It should be fun, but I just wanted to get a call in. Got nothing against Barbarossa. He's a good dude, good caller, all that kind of stuff. But it is what it is, man. It's wartime.
Mike, thanks for all the support on the show. And good luck tomorrow. I think it's going to be a great matchup between you two to start us off tomorrow morning.
What you think, like 10:30?
10:30 in that range. Yes, sir.
I'll be working, so I'll try to call in tomorrow. But if I can't, I can't. But I'm going to try to call in.
Ladies and gentlemen, D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Man, this tournament's bringing out the best in everyone. Love to see it. Roseanne writes in, Charles definitely wears a hazmat suit whenever he goes number 2. Man. Ralphie writes in, Charles gonna teabag someone in this tournament. Indy says, Charles goes commando. Charles, if you'd like to respond to D's nuts, obviously you have every right to. Let's continue with your calls. Let's say hello right now to a man down under. Craig in Australia. Hello, Craig.
I'm back. I've been away a lot. I haven't been able to call in. It's been crazy. I've been in most states in the country in the last 8 days or thereabouts. So I'm finally back in the office, and I'll have to call in and defend my position in the bracket against the enemy.
Oh my God! There she is.
No.
Oh, come on.
I've got the hat on.
Doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Look at this matchup here. The 6 versus 11 in the Butter region. The all Australia matchup.
She's lurking about over there. She wants to get in, but she can't. She has to make her own call. Don't get too close. It could get ugly. Now, I'm appealing to all the Asmaniacs out there who are voting in this thing. If they want Sarah to keep her job here, then they know who to vote for. They know who to vote for. That's all I'm saying. The guy who calls in all the time, who super chats, who membership gifts.
What are you going to do about it?
Just saying.
Sarah wouldn't even know what the show is without you too, Craig. I think you got to play on that in making
on
your case.
his side, Jake.
I'm on both your sides. I can make a case for you, Sarah, too. But right now, this is Craig's opportunity.
Put up with these two. Let me win something.
No. Now,
You have Hawk. You've already won in life. You have a great American man.
we're going to have to. We may have to bring in HR to decide this over here because the great EB is the head of HR here. So he's the one who's going to have to swing the axe if the worst possible things happens and I go out in the first round.
Now, Craig, when you saw the bracket reveal and you saw the committee place you against Sarah, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was I'm screwed because it's not good to be a guy anymore these days. So I've got no hope. She's the golden blonde beauty or booty, as the case may be. Now, speaking speaking of booty, I spent the weekend in the great Republic of Western Australia at a conference with the one and only Mario of the bite the butt photo.
Wow.
Now, he has agreed to come on the show to discuss this because this topic, we can't just let it go. It can't just be allowed to fade away. There's got to be an explanation. I know Bobby demands it. So this is my big announcement this morning or tonight, whatever time it is. So Mario's coming on. It's going to happen.
Wow.
And
The ass biter. I love it.
Yep. Hashtag bite the butt. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So it's too late for him to have a bracket, but he can at least defend himself. Maybe we can do a reenactment. I mean, I don't know. I'm open to anything.
Now, Craig, I'll tell you what. I know you're a little concerned having to face Sarah because she is, of course, the golden blonde beauty. But King Loski's proven if you're a great caller, you can win no matter what. I mean, Loski's up 74-26 on Jennergy, who's also an esteemed member of the 4% female demographic.
Yeah, the King, of course, he's one of the OGs. He's in a complete category of his own. He has the ability to type in all caps and not scare anyone away. It's one of my goals to get to Atlanta to meet the King, so I can meet His Majesty, and we can all hail the King. That is my plan. we've got to play them eventually down there, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm trying to think. When was the last time the Jets played in Atlanta? It's been a while. Well, they're supposed to the year they played in London. That was 2021.
Supposed to, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's less than 2 months now. Me and EB are going to be hitting Virgin Flight 8000 from Sydney to LA. We're jumping in our car. We're going straight to In-N-Out Burger because Mrs. Craig wants to go there so bad, but she's never been there. And I said to her, I'm going to go and I'm going to troll you. There'll be photos of me and Luke like this for you with our burgers. And then we'll catch up with Addie and Rick Kent. We'll stay the night. We'll drive to Vegas the next day, cause chaos there, and then straight to New York City.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see you, Craig.
Yeah, man. We'll plan an event. We'll do something. So I'm keeping an eye on this bracket. I still exist. My travel's all over, so I'll be able to call in and defend myself.
You could be a champion by then. Who knows? You could go on a run and win the whole thing.
No chance. I've got the guy who I'd like to see win. I don't know if he will, which I'll keep secret for the moment. But
did you submit a bracket? It's public. People can see it.
Oh no shit. Actually, I think I did, but it didn't work. So
you're one of the 40 people that signed up and never hit submit.
I hit submit. I don't know what happened. Over in Western Australia, the most isolated city on earth, anything can happen.
That's right.
I don't know. So it's all good, mate. I'm going to go and do some work, and I'll message you about getting Mario on here.
I can't wait. All right, Craig, Sarah, your matchup. We still got some time before, but it's going to be a doozy, Craig. I can't wait.
It could be ugly over here. That's all I'm saying. So if you
Ladies and
if you love Sarah, everyone who's watching, you need to be cruel to be kind. So,
Listen to it. Look at me.
It's ASMANIAC Madness, baby, all around the globe.
10,000.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? ASMANIAC Madness. You get to pick the ones who make the show walk. Who's the king? Answer you.
Now that's a call. That is a call right there. All right. We're approaching 2 hours here. I don't want to stay on forever. We had a long show earlier, so let's try and rapid fire through some more calls here. The Lup Man is next, followed by Mr. Kyle Clifton. What's up, Luppy?
Hey, Jake, how you doing? Wow. Did you ever think years ago when you were just a chat channel and we type everything in and wondering who would V-Man look like, that we'd be here today? This is great.
It's wild, man. It's the greatest tournament in sports, Luppy.
Any movie you watch, you like it because of the characters. And Jake, you've had a show about characters, and this is unbelievable. I mean, anybody can win. Still, anybody can win. I mean, V-Man, You know, he can sleep his way to the top. You know, I mean, Beast Breaker, he can swing his way to the top. You know, Gorman can just the gas inside him can lift him to the top. I mean, anybody can win at this point. That's what I'm saying. I mean, look at these brackets. And then King Loski winning today, you broke the 4% chain. Thank you. So I have a shot at Leanie. A little shot, but she's a good girl, but I have a shot at Leanie. Coming, I think, this Saturday, right, Jake? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that sounds right. If we project it ahead,
right. But do you remember way back when I actually texted you something? I think I kind of brought up the 4% a whole thing. I didn't make it. You did, Jake. But I said something about the fact that you know, this is the longest call you've ever had with a girl, and you took it the wrong way and gave me a little wife thing. I think you remember that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I said, listen, Jake's the longest he's ever talked to a woman, meaning like on the show. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, okay. And then I came up to clarify that, hey, we need more of this. And then the whole 4% thing came up. So I'm behind the 4%.
Okay.
Do you remember now?
I vaguely, yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw the news, Luppy, but this show is trending upward. We have 4.5%
Yes.
female demographic
Yes,
the last
we do.
90 days. So the 4%ers could be the 5%ers if the trend holds here.
And Jake, you know I've always been watching. I've been, even when I don't watch live, I watch it after the fact. There's a lot of people that watch after the fact that probably could be good callers. So shout out to you guys. I'm one of them too. But I try to call every time I can when I'm off. You know, it's definitely great.
No one could question your passion for the show, Luppy. You're an awesome caller. I mean, you've been here a long time.
Yeah, since almost the beginning, Jake. I mean, great. Shout out to you for what you're doing. But let's talk a little bit of Jets. This is why we're here. What are we doing? What are we doing? We get rid of Rodgers, right? And then the new regimes is Wentz, Mariota, and Fields. And that's my wife. This is, I mean, this. She used to be. She used to be, but she's actually sane. So she just gave it up and kind of digs me every week. So I got to fight that battle. See, there it is. But anyway, though, what are we doing? Jake, what are we doing?
She sounds feisty. I like this.
Oh, I love her. She's feisty. Hey, listen, that's the way I like it. That's why I like my fights. You know, it's great.
Speaking of feisty, your opponent is on the line, Luppy.
Hey, Leanie, how we doing? Hi, Leanie. Got you on, Jake.
Hello, how are
Listen,
you?
if I can battle my wife, I think I got a chance against you. You know what I'm saying?
This is so bad because I cannot say anything bad about you, Luppy. There's
Me neither.
nothing.
Me neither.
You're
So
a nice guy. You know, you got a great smile. You have good taste. You know, when you come on, you're very personable. You know, so I can't be, you know, no hitting under the belt. I
Leanie?
can't.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Whoever moves forward deserves it. Thank you, Leanie. You know, I always love you, like I do Jake and everybody else in this chat. Leanie, you're an awesome person. So it just it sucks that we had to battle each other in the first round. You know what I mean? Both of
Maybe
us,
I should
deserve to
call
win.
your wife and get some. She could give me some things I could use against you.
She'll give you a ton, man. Stay off the phone. No, I'm sorry.
Just kidding.
All good, Leanie. All good,
Yes,
Leanie.
it's Saturday, right? It'll be fun.
Saturday be fun. I'll be at work, so I'm gonna have to try to call from work, and it's gonna be tough. What about you? You working Saturday?
No, I should be off. So
Got
right
the
now I
edge.
don't
You
have
already
any
got the
plans.
edge.
So
You already
we'll
got the edge.
I don't have any plans, but sometimes things come up with the grandkids, and Mimi has to be on duty. So we'll see.
Let me call Mimi. Make sure that you're distracted. Okay, I gotta do that.
All right, I just
Okay.
wanted to hop in. I heard your voice, but
Okay.
dinner's ready. Mr. Leanie's calling.
Ah,
So I'm going to go, and he made some yummy stuffed peppers. So I'm going to
Stuffed
go.
peppers is awesome. Yes.
Yes.
My wife's a chef, as you can tell. She's cooking in the kitchen. I can't wait for my meal. Little shrimp Alfredo going on.
Oh, nice. That sounds delish.
My
Yeah.
mother wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm on StreamYard, Mom. I'm on YouTube.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Charles, you're the best, dude. I can't. Mom, the meatloaf.
The meatloaf!
Mom, meatloaf.
What a call there. Luppy, Leanie, I mean, they're too nice. The committee should have thought better. Put the two nicest people matched up in the first round. That's going to be a great matchup, though. I love both of them. Can't wait. All that talk of food got me thinking about Charles Gorman and a little meatloaf. All right, let's do a couple more calls here. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton's next. What's up, Kyle?
What's going on, Jake? The end of the Tay Adams era. I know that you said 2 and 4, you had no problem with the trade. I kind of do.
Did you think that at the time?
You know, I kind of did at 2 and 4. I was thinking to myself, like, why are we leaving this decision in the hands of someone who's probably going to lose their job? And that's why, like, having a president of football operations, someone to layer in between ownership and the coach and general manager, becomes something that would be helpful when you have an owner that really doesn't know anything about football and might have a propensity to meddle. That's why when I heard that the Minnesota guy, Rick Spielman, was taking a consultant role, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, we really need someone in there full time to be like giving the general manager and the coach their budget, to be a buffer between the ownership, to be someone who basically is going to give bad news up the chain and down the chain, with a little bit of acumen sprinkled in, a fly on the wall in the draft room, a fly on the wall in the boardroom. I just think that having Joe Douglas make that trade when they're 2 and 4, there should have been someone to say, put the brakes on. Let's see how this plays out. I don't know that we need to do this. I don't know if it's going to change our fortunes.
Yeah. Look, I mean, in hindsight, for sure, they were desperate. You know, it was only the way I look at it is like, it is what it is. Like, it's 1 third-round pick when they happen to have 2 of them. They acquired an extra third-round pick to be able to do this exact deal. So I don't find it that big of a deal. Would it be nice to have 2 thirds this year? For sure. But among the issues I have with this franchise, a desperate ploy to get Davante, like, he was good as a Jet. Like, he played. It's not like he sucked. He played well. He wasn't the reason why they were awful after they acquired him, you know?
Right. And as far as the tournament goes, I'm hoping that Charles is correct and that Lane is overrated. Otherwise, the people in my bracket have got a real big problem. V-Man's got a problem. You know,
V-Man's got to
Jay
wake
Graves
up.
has a problem. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with this guy. I might have to, if I'm lucky enough to advance that far, I might have to make my own heel turn.
Kyle, I think you're advancing far, and look, you're a great caller, but the fact that Phenom has once again not called in at all since the bracket came out, I mean, people are just going to forget about the greatness of Phenom if we learned anything from the results of this tournament so far. I think you're going to cruise.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, if you've ever heard Phenom call, his voice is indelible. I appreciate your time, Jake. Go. You got something going on tonight, right?
Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. Talk to you
Ladies and
soon.
gentlemen, Kyle Clifton live from the beach. Unconfirmed if BMAC is also there at the same beach, because we know he respects women, which is why he goes to the beach to stare at them. His words, not mine. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. This guy is the ultimate respecter of women. He'll tell you that. Here we go.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
I do like the broads. I'm a fan of the broads. Why does that offend them?
Why do I have to add the 2 next to your name every time, by the way? You can't just
All right,
leave it.
I'll try to remember to put it in.
Do you want people to not know you're a 2 seed in this tournament?
No, I do. But I want to talk about that. Charles is a great caller. I see some weaknesses. I don't get to see him until the finals. If it would have come that far, I can beat him. I see some weaknesses. Like I scout tape all day, Jake. Like I look for things. I see some weaknesses in him. I can beat him.
What are the
I don't know if
weaknesses?
I'll get that far. If I do, I can beat him.
What are the weaknesses?
Oh, I can't tell you because then someone else is going to pick him off. But trust me.
If you get picked off, will you share that intellect with whoever is competing against them?
If that person contacts me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can expose him. you can get him. You can get underneath the skin and get him to lose his cool, which then he loses that boyhood charm that people like about him. You can get to him. There's holes in his armor that you can get to. I want the Rodgers bashers, the people, anyone but Rodgers, to apologize. Did you see this list? Justin Fields, who's not good, is the best name on the list. Marcus Mariota, and then Carson Wentz. These are third stringers, Jake. These are borderline NFL players. These are names that we were kind of tossing around when Aaron Rodgers got hurt 2 years ago. Like, can we get Wentz? Can we get Mariota? Can we get any? These are the names that we're talking about now. So can they just apologize and say, you know what? We overreacted. You Rodgers people, he's not great, but you guys were right. Can they just say that?
It's not going to happen because they're going to say, we got to wait to see what the Jets do and this and that. And the reality is we're probably going to be a lot worse at quarterback this year. You got to hope the coaching is so much better and the defense is so much better that they could still be a better team.
Yeah, there's a chance, right? They could win more games. I think they'll win. I don't know. Probably could win more games, but that's not like if you had Glenn and the better coaching staff and Rodgers, you win even more games. Like no one can really argue that you're going to win more games with Marcus Mariota than Aaron Rodgers. No serious person would even argue that, and that's like what we're looking at. Marcus Mariota. This is how far downhill we've gone. Like, wow. Okay.
Now, Gary, there's a guy on the line who's got a story specific to you, I'm being told. Paolo is on the line, and he wants to talk to you. Hello, Paolo.
Gary, Jake, what's going on?
What's up, Paolo?
What's up, Paulo?
Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
First of all, it's an honor, Gary. I'm one of your fans and not a hater like most of these people. So quick story. I'm assuming you know Arturo Gatti, right?
He's my youngest son's middle name is Gaddy after Arturo Gatti. He's my
dude. That was my brother-in-law.
All time. Shut up! Really,
Gary? I swear to God.
I swear to God.
No, he's not from Brazil. He's Canadian. He's Canadian.
His wife is from Brazil. His wife.
Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know if the chat knows the story, but
we won't get into all the details. Yeah.
Yeah. My sister, not the woman who murdered him, was not my sister. Okay. All right.
Thank you,
Jake. If you don't know the story,
no, I don't know what's happening right now.
Do you know who Arturo Gatti is, Jake?
I don't know. Should I?
Yeah. He was a very famous boxer, right, Gary? Like during his time, very famous.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was a blood and guts warrior. Like his fights were better than real life. He fought Mickey.
He was like Rocky. Jake, okay. he was the Rocky of boxing, very famous. Anyway, Gary,
what's the greatest sporting event you'd ever seen? What's the best fight what's the greatest thing you'd ever seen in your life? Gatti Ward won round 9. That's all I'll say.
Absolutely, round 9. And Gary, I'm so upset. So long story short, because I don't want to hold you guys too much. I've been wanting to tell you about this, Gary. My sister was with him for like 6 years, and this is all during my high school years. And he would give me and my friends all tickets to the fights, and we were literally, like I said, like sophomore, junior in high school. Our parents would just let us go completely by ourselves to Atlantic City, buy the rooms for us. We were doing a lot of illegal stuff for teenagers. Anyway, so I went to all his fights after Gatti Ward won. I went to every single one after that. This is my story, my Jet story involving Gatti is one of his fights. I don't remember the gentleman he was fighting, but I made a sign. It said Arturo Gatti TKO to the body. And in the second round, he hits a guy with a body shot and knocks him down. So I'm going crazy, highly intoxicated for a teenager. And we all rush the stage. I run into Shaquille O'Neal, run into Roy Jones. And anyway, so after the fight, so I see Arturo, I run on stage, I see Arturo, and I'm like, going crazy. He's like, listen, get all your friends, come back to the hotel. It was a very easy fight. He knocked him out in the second round, knocked him down, and, he didn't get back up. So we're like, fine, we'll meet you right there. We get a limo, and then, long story short, I arrive there. Who's there? Wayne Corbett, Justin McCarrans, and I don't know who the third guy was. He was like some cornerback on the team. I didn't really know back then. So I spent the whole night partying with Wayne Corbett, Justin McCarrans, and whoever this third guy was, a few other people too. So good Jets / boxing story for you guys.
That is an awesome story. That is Gaddy. That is my guy. Like when I guess I was like 12. I didn't have any money, right? We moved to Texas. Gaddy was fighting Tracy Harris Patterson at the Garden, right? And we always went to New York for Christmas to visit my dad's family. For my Christmas present, right? It was like a week before Christmas. We didn't have any money. So my dad just got me like one ticket to go to the Garden. Like he gave me like $2 for the subway and like $10 for popcorn. Like that was my Christmas. So at 12, I took the subway from Queens, went to the Garden by myself, and watched the Gaddy fight. Like that was my Christmas present.
Awesome,
Gaddy is
man.
my all-time favorite fighter.
Dude, I'm so happy I got on with
like
you.
Gas station pizza, right, Gary?
What was that?
Gaddy was a big gas station pizza guy.
Probably not. He's from the old country originally, so probably not.
Paolo, good call, man. I'm glad you made Gary's day with that. There you go.
That story did make my day. And
Bino writes in, Thunder Gaddy was my guy. Met him in AC in the 90s. Craig, I don't remember. I know he died in like 09. I was like, once I looked it up, I remember it more, but I forgot.
Well, you would have been young then too. That's 15 years ago.
I was a huge sports fan in 2009. I just forgot.
That's true. That's true.
I wasn't a big boxing fan though. Boxing, I'm not like I am a casual at best boxing fan.
Yeah, I mean, Gaddy was at his best in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s was when like vintage Gaddy. So probably around the time you were born. Yeah.
Michael says, if I cared about boxing, I just watched some hockey. I was born in the mid 90s, Gary. Like,
okay, I went to the fight 95. That would be the mid 90s. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm going to put another call on with you, Gary, because you were campaigning for this guy to win. He somehow won yesterday by a couple votes. He unretired on the spot. JJ's on the line. JJ, welcome back.
I don't understand why, Jake, you want me to lose so bad. Like, even that comment right there, he somehow won. That was...
You said you wanted to lose. You were telling people to vote for June.
That doesn't matter, though. I don't understand why you picked against me. You picked against me before you even knew I was retired.
Yeah,
and then now you're saying
against you because you weren't calling the show. I thought the audience would forget about you. They almost did.
Well, okay. It's just crazy to me. And then now everyone's saying that Big Fella is going to beat me in a landslide. No disrespect to Big Fella. I'm sure he's a great caller, but can you name a memorable Big Fella moment besides him just laying on his bed all sassy, looking like a model on the beach? What are we talking about here?
Here we go.
Like, no, but I don't get it because, I just sometimes I get very frustrated at the disrespect. Like I call in, and I try to bring something of value to the show, but I also try to be, memorable moments. And then you guys put me up against these people and root for my downfall.
You quit the show and now you're talking trash to Big Fella?
I didn't quit. I retired and now I'm unretired. I'm back. I'm back. And you know what's funny? I don't know if you got it. I sent you my campaign video, so whenever you get a chance, you can play that. I emailed it to you
because I know it to make sure it's appropriate for the air.
Yeah. No, it's very appropriate. I would never do that. But because Gator is rooting against me, so just so you guys know, JJ doesn't have any fancy intros, anything like that. JJ just calls into the show.
Normally, your internet sucks too. To be fair, you seemingly have figured out how to call in properly.
Well, because it's March Madness, you know what I mean? So I got to give the people what they want.
You could have been doing this year round, and then you wouldn't have people wouldn't be questioning like why they should vote for you then.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that? I feel like this was more fun. What do you think, Gary?
This is perfect. If we could have a JJ call like this every day, we should do that. JJ, it's good to have you back. We're gonna get you a 45 jersey, just like Jordan. You come back, rocking the 45. We're gonna get you some 11s, some black.
So you think you're gonna beat 11s? Big Fella?
Do I think I'm going to be Big Fella? Here's the thing, right? So I'm not going to make a prediction of whether I think I'm going to be Big Fella or not, because I have a lot of respect for Big Fella, and if he beats me, he rightfully deserves it, because he's brought so much to the show. He lays on his bed and he calls in, and he has a lot of memorable moments. So if I lose to Big Fella, I mean, it's well deserved. I want somebody though, anybody, just put in the chat their favorite Big Fella moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Hey, JJ.
What's up? Look at him. Sassy.
Listen,
why do you have to pose like that though on your bed? That's what I don't understand.
JJ,
Yeah.
I'm happy that you finally figured out the phone. Okay.
Mhm.
Instead of looking like a broke ass Uber driver with a Cricket Wireless account, your phone is actually working good. Enough with the bum ass takes. I'll take the bed thing. You could take the Uber thing. It's all good.
The Uber, but I don't drive an Uber. But I mean, if that's what you guys think,
No, you look like you drive an Uber with the broke ass phone.
thank you. You don't have to make fun of my phone. I know it's broken. I know it's okay. Hold on. But why do you have to? I don't.
Lying on the bed.
I'm not making fun of you. I just don't understand why you're in that pose. Why are you in that position?
Why do you call in that way?
Okay, but look, you can sit up straight. You're a grown man. You shouldn't be laying.
Get a better internet.
Do you lay like that all day?
All day.
That doesn't make any sense. Do you watch the Jets like that?
No, I have a TV.
I mean, obviously you have a TV. I'm sure you have a TV in your bedroom, don't you?
No.
Oh, well, all right. We're two different people. Hey, big fella, I'm rooting for you, though. Last time I said vote for June, and everyone voted for me. So this time I'm going to say vote for me.
I'm rooting for you.
You should.
Oh, yeah.
You should. All right, question for you. How do you feel about Davante Adams being released?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, why?
Why? Because, I feel like he was worth he had too much money on the contract, and I think we're rebuilding right now, actually retooling. So I just think that he wouldn't fit. We got to get rid of all these Green Bay guys who cost a lot and build from the ground up at certain positions.
Ooh, you led me right to my next point. So all these Green Bay guys. So what do you think we should have kept Rodgers or should have got rid of him? How do you feel about that?
We should have got rid of him too. We have a new coaching. We have a new coaching staff. Yep.
And what would you like to do at quarterback next year?
I would like to get Fields. I would like to have Tyrod and him battle for the starting position, and I'd like to draft a quarterback this year.
Okay. And when are you going to sit up straight and stop laying in the bed like a sassy assassin?
As soon as you fix your phone from your car.
Hey, the phone sounds good, baby. So you better sit up straight right now. Let's go.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? ASMANIAC Madness. You get to pick the ones who make the show rock.
JJ's back, man. Can we sim to that matchup in the round of 32 already? We still got to get through the rest of the opening rounds, but man, I'm ready for the 5-4 in the chicken soup region. Big fella, JJ, wow. Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, the campaign behind Beastbreaker 666 has just paid for another ad.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote for the Beast. You know why? Because I'm a man's man. I'm a man's man, and let me just say this. 5 times I went back-to-back 5 different times. I've singled 4 titles in my illustrious career. 3 Triple Crowns, 2 Grand Slams, a Hall of Famer. I fit in like the likes of Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Ric Flair, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Gene Kaniski, and many of the other greats. And don't let my hair fool you. I'm bigger, I'm badder, I'm smarter. I'm not fat, but I'm a man's man, and I'm gonna tell it like it is. Vote for the Beast, and you'll see the difference between facts.
Going a little Mexican tonight. We have a little tacos action. Yeah. This is the best way to do it. Okay, right here. See that? Boom. Boom. The trick to doing this taco, I do it the Gordon Ramsay way. Cream fry. Man's best friend. Watch Chelsea. There. There she goes. Boom. Boom. There she goes. Again. Over you. There she goes. Oh, there we are. Look at that baby. That is perfect. Right there. Right.
I might be big, I might be bad, but I'm going to take your ass down.
Beastbreaker, Briga, tomorrow afternoon. Who you got, folks? Can Dave take down the beast? That's a question many are asking. A couple of you have asked, Jake, how do I enter the raffle? Well, you get the membership, Sonny, to quote Beastbreaker. We added another prize for those of you tuning in late today. Signed Kevin Mawai helmet to go with a signed Namath helmet, signed Maynard helmet, signed Darrell Revis helmet, signed Curtis Martin helmet. 5 total Hall of Fame signed helmets for our Hall of Fame themed ASMANIAC raffle. Kyle Clifton commenting on the rivalry between the big fella and JJ says this is a rivalry that arrived organically. It's true. I don't know if I read this from Michael, but it's funny. If I cared about boxing, I just watched some hockey. Man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeti thinks Briga versus Beast might be the biggest blowout in the tournament. See, some have speculated that. What I do wonder, though, how many people are silent Beast voters? Right? They tune in here or there. They're not watching every day, and they enjoy a little Beast Breaker. I don't know. I don't know. That's all part of the conversation. There's a lot of Beast support out there. They're just not public about it. So that's what you got to consider with this type of stuff as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the closer.
It's G-Sven.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's G-Sven.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's G-Sven.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for G-Sven.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Yo, I was gonna go out to there, Jake, but it just started storming again. I was gonna go hang out with the guys and play a little bit of poker, but I'm not gonna work getting my cast wet. We play dollar per hands at times, but like
What if you just cover your casts before going outside?
I said screw it. They also
is it that hard to do that? It doesn't seem that
no.
challenging.
They also have alcohol, and I don't want to be drinking on my pain pills. I don't want to be.
What if you just don't drink?
Jack, if it's whiskey, I have to drink it.
Well, you don't have to, though, is my point.
True. But Jim Beam, though, Jake. Jim Beam, though.
I get it, but if you wanted to play poker with your friends, I think there's a way to do it, no?
My matchup is in 2 days. I'm hoping I make it to the next round. I really would love to send to JJ and Big Fella. I think Dave is going to keep this close tomorrow. And I think
Dave might win tomorrow.
Right, he might. I honestly think both matches are going to go down to the wire. This might be the closest 2 matches you guys done in a while.
I want to talk about your region, Cheats fan. Obviously, there's a lot of emphasis on.
B. John, good luck tomorrow. We the people is going to be rough to get over. Like I got a mountain to climb over. I got B. John, I got We the People, and I got Peter. I have a feeling I'm just gonna lose. I have a feeling I'm gonna not make it out of my bracket, but if I do, I'll be happy. Like I said, make it to the Sweet 16 is nice, but I got to get over Weed the People. B. John, you never know, it might be an upset. I would really, really love to win. So let me see what chat's saying right now. Whiskey and pain pills, executive activation. I think I might have fucked up. If you voted for me, thank you. Yeah, Chiefs fan versus Castle, Sweet 16 would be amazing. Philly says weed is gonna burn. People doing my email.
Are you hosting the show, Chiefs fan? Is that what happened?
I'm just reading off what people want to. I decided to read off that. Might as well read it off.
There was a comment from Luppy saying, Jake, next year, make it so subscribers can vote. That's not up to me, Luppy. YouTube lets everyone vote. I originally thought the YouTube poll was only for subscribers, just like I have the chat as only for subscribers. But I was told by Nick Shine that anyone can vote, even
The
non-subscribers.
only way I think you can do that is be a Twitch streamer, and who wants to avoid your Twitch? Because someone might say some anti-woman stuff, and then your channel goes down. Like YouTube is more lenient, but like hell, YouTube will let people show nipple when they're working out, but like I don't know about on streaming though. Like those workout videos, the guys with their abs and all that shit. YouTube's more lenient. You can't even do that on Twitch anymore.
Now, I don't know if you caught the show earlier, but Charles Gorman's getting his own place. If he invited you to his housewarming party, would you fly in for that?
I gotta recover from this, but as soon as I recover, I would like to go there if he allows it. If he allows it.
I understand you got to recover from this, but like, I feel like you could still live your everyday life, no?
Yeah, but I'm waiting till the 13th to see what my doctor says, and if I need surgery, so be it. Like the best part is if I don't need surgery, I could heal faster. I've been propping this up every single day, keeping my vitamin levels and all that up. Greek yogurts twice a day.
You just pounding yogurt?
It's good protein, eggs, and all that other stuff. I'm constantly trying to stay on the diet. Every once in a while, sneaking Dorito.
Beast is making dinner right now. Beast, how are you?
Yeah, what a
We're making tacos tonight. Tacos. TACOS.
Oh, Yeti said weed is guaranteed at least 9 votes if all of his accounts. That's kind of funny.
Little Taco Tuesday at the Beast Breaker residence.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't buy the stuff for tacos because I've been having those constantly on Taco Tuesday. So instead of that, I'm just gonna make like I bought everything for tacos, the taco bowl. I'm just like tired of the tortilla. So you know those taco salads that people make, they go out and buy those taco bowls, and I'm just gonna have mine that way. I'm gonna one thing that's been keeping my protein up and me doing stuff, even though eggs is $7 a carton, I bought like 4 cartons of eggs because my doctors say that's the best type of protein you can get into you is eggs. Also went out and bought vitamins because I want to recover from this fast, and I mean fast. Thank you, Peter. And Peter, if you kick my ass, I hope you win it all the way. Thank you, Peter.
He says Chiefs fans the best. Strong.
Human flesh is not good protein. You get diseases from eating human flesh.
Yeah, are you speaking from experience?
No, it's been documented for the people who had to do cannibalism to survive. They come back with different diseases.
I see.
The reason why I looked into this stuff was like I wanted to go visit the Alps, but I'm also fearful of not coming back.
Right.
Off the cuff. That's what I'm just a free speaker. Like I don't plan ahead, and if it gets me eliminated, it gets me eliminated.
Cheats fan, you have a hell of a night. All right.
You too. By the way, enjoy some tacos. If not, try to have a steak or beef related, because I don't know if you, whatever religion you are, but like Lent's gonna be rough on me this year because I would do fish fries, but the doctor says no fried food with this. So on Lent.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches. I'm just gonna rub my hands together all day. There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
We're almost ready here. Look at that. Here, look at that, baby. Delicious tacos. That's what you like. If you want to go, we call cream fresh.
My mother wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm on StreamYard, Mom. I'm on YouTube.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Charles, you're the best, dude. Mom, the meatloaf.
The meatloaf!
Mom, meatloaf.
Dinner time for everyone, folks. Tom Ace with a great point. The belly of the beast. We just took you inside there. Man, Beast, I just wish you had good internet, dude, because tomorrow's going to be tough for you. I know you got your campaign team behind you, but I mean, that Gator was working with Beast like all day today to try and fix his mic settings. It just doesn't work. Tried it all. Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a show, which means voting is officially closed. And the winner, with 74% of the vote, King Loski. In fact, it's actually 73% after I hit end. So someone voted right at the buzzer. 73-26. King Loski defeats Jennergy. 671 total votes. That might have been a voting record. Incredible. Shout out to everyone who voted. Congrats to our king. Great effort by Jennergy, who's an awesome caller. Folks, we got 2 matchups left in the chicken soup region. Tomorrow morning, Mike D's Nuts and Barbarossa. Tomorrow afternoon, Beast and Briga. And then an official region will be in the books. The chicken soup region. Then we move forward to the hood region. So we got the 7-10 and the 2-15 tomorrow. And then we're on to the next region. The hood region. With number 1 seed Cheats fan, number 2 seed David T. What a show, folks. Thank you to Dylan who joined at the top. For those who missed it, go back. There was some great Jet insight from him. Thanks to everyone who super chatted, gifted, hit the like button, subscribed, join the Patreon if you want your name added to the countdown ticker for this month. Last day to do it. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you sign up for the year, you get 10 raffle entries and you save 15%. It's a great deal. I mean, the raffle this week I think is amazing. Curtis Martin, Revis, Maynard, Namath, Mawai signed helmets. Find me at the show that's giving you that. So I appreciate everyone. Awesome show. I'm off to the Garden tonight. Let's go Knicks. Beat Steph Curry and the Warriors. We're back tomorrow. What a day. What a time. Ladies and gentlemen, the campaign for Beastbreaker has provided me with something I'm supposed to play at the end here. Beast's first ever call into this program. Have a good night, everybody. Beastbreaker 666 is up next. Hello, Beastbreaker.
We have 100,000 colleges in the United States. Why don't we just look at some of the different colleges? We got Boston College. We got Hofstra. We have we need to take $10 billion out, go get a brand new offensive line and a new kicker. Hello, Einstein. Bullshit. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Oops, I forgot. You forgot 14 years of losing. I don't want to see that anymore. Get back on your horse and fight. Bullshit. Am I not right, Jake?
Beastbreaker, I think you make some salient points. Call back.
Fuck. When do you want me to call back?
Every day.
You got yourself a deal.
Well, that was a call, folks. Welcome to the tournament, Beastbreaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote for the Beast.